Yeah, listen, I mean, I'm a big tennis fan, and I have been for a long time. Everybody knows that Mr. Wolf loves sports. Football's my thing, boxing, and I love tennis. And, you know, calling her Miss Serena, to me, that's all justified because I got nothing but respect for this woman. And unfortunately, I didn't get to watch the final, but even before hearing the ins and outs of it, I'm backing Serena, mate. I have her back, and I'm backing her 100%.
I usually back Serena, but
listen, and the reason why is I've heard a lot of what most of these passionate men have said to umpires, and they've gone in.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents and other small insects. Welcome to another episode of the Eloquently Saying Nothing podcast. This is episode 89. I am Stavros Boss. I am not in the house. I am somewhere else. But in that house, controlling things, and around him is Big Wahala.
Yo, Big Wahala's in the building. What's good, people?
And I'm assuming beside him is Mr. Wolf.
Whoever marries a woman based on false pretenses won't keep the woman for long. Personal integrity counts.
Does that count as well in the reverse, like when women are lying to men all the time?
Well, I was waiting for somebody to actually say that.
Wow, we've started already.
Yeah, I was waiting for someone to say that.
Started already.
Oh, okay,
but yeah, this is Mr. Wolf. You can catch me on AKA Mr. Wolf on Insta, AKA _ Mr. Wolf on Twitter. Word is bound.
Nice.
Okay, you can catch Big Wahala at Big Wahala on Instagram and Twitter. You can catch Stavros Boss at Stavros Boss everywhere. I'll do the ESN intros shortly, but before that, let's get into some guests. Let's start off with the less special one first. She's been on it before. She's back again. Big up yourself, Mo from Colour Out the Box podcast.
Colour Out the Box. Hi, I'm Mo from Colour Out the Box podcast. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter. Do rate and review us. It's simple conversation between friends.
Man, you can't wait to the end for all of that, you know.
I just want to get in now.
Jump straight into the promo. Of course. How you doing, Mo? You good?
I'm okay. Last minute joining the pod, but I'm good.
Yeah, boy. I messaged her yesterday night.
Yeah.
Like, you gonna come on tomorrow?
Yeah.
So hold on, you're messaging women in nighttime.
It wasn't that night. It was that late. It was about 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
You just said yesterday night, man.
What kind of man are you?
I called her last
But what
night.
kind of man are you? Anyway, look, what happens with your wife when she comes back? Let's start telling her things that
Don't worry about my wife. Okay. To save me getting her name wrong, could one of you in there introduce the last guest, please?
So we got a new person to the podcast today. Her name is Nai.
Yes, Nai, go by Nai. Just a regular opinionated girl, to be honest. Nothing too deep.
Nice.
And where are you from?
To be honest, this podcast are always slating Ghanaians, but I will confidently say yes, I am Ghanaian.
Yes.
So I'm gonna be the brunt of all.
No, I'll support you.
No, I'll stand up, man. It's all good.
See how Nigerian women don't support their men.
And what are your socials now?
Stand up tall.
Oh,
they can't stand up tall. They're too short. Keep going.
Yeah, let's not get into that right now. I don't think we should do the socials thing.
All right, no problem.
Right now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's everyone in the room.
All right, wicked. All right, so let me do the ESN socials are at ESN Podcast on Instagram, Twitter. You can search for Eloquently Saying Nothing on Facebook and use the hashtag ESN Pod. When you want to join in the conversation, we have a ton of things to talk about this week. So I'm sure there's going to be a topic that you want to discuss.
And we don't have to get through every single one of them, you know.
Yeah, me and Mr. Wolf were saying that some of the stuff we don't care about.
It's quite a long list.
We don't care about what it is.
Like what then?
No,
I don't care about Cardi B. Let's put it that way. Fuck that.
What?
And
fair enough.
And to be honest, if we get into a good conversation that's got nothing to do with the timeline, I don't care about what's going on in the timeline either, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah, but that's always the case. So I didn't get a chance. Usually when I'm there, well, let me discuss first. First of all, I am not in the country, as I stated last week.
No one is, bro.
I'll be overseas.
Yeah,
Sorry?
big up Simple Simon. Big up the actor who are both overseas again as well, but they can't join in the same way that these men are joined in. Or should I say, this one man is joined in?
Yes, Mr.
So big
Wolf.
themselves up.
3/5. Yeah, 3/5 of the podcasts are overseas. We are away. So one's in a couple in Europe, innit, and I'm in Africa.
Yeah, the one's in America still.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, goddamn. All right. And so we're all over the. It's like we're crossing the continents here. But yeah, I'm doing a little African thing with my daughter and my wife. She's getting to see Nigeria and Ghana. We've finished the Nigerian leg, and we are now in the Ghanaian leg of our trip.
Nice.
So we're right in the middle. So,
Save the best till
I'm not
last.
gonna go. I don't know about that. My daughter's just been she's pooed about 5 times in the last 3 hours due to some Ghanaian food
No,
poisoning.
that's the airplane.
In Nigeria, she was fine. In Nigeria, she was fine. Now we're in Ghana. Listen, I've just before we started recording, I offered this girl bread, and she said, "You know, my daughter loves bread like
man,
that."
she loves it.
She said no. That is how badly the Ghanaians have messed up her belly.
It's a detox. When you go in,
My daughter that's never refused food has said no. Charlie. That's what I'm gonna say. Anyways, I'm not.
Let me tell you how deep the daughter is. Because when I asked her, "What do you want for your birthday?" she just told me cake. She said no. She said cake. That's how she likes food still. But anyway, it's alright. It's good that she's got to see both sides, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. We had to come to Ghana anyways for a wedding, and so I said we can't come all the way down there without branching over to Nigeria. Unfortunately, we had to stop off in Ghana first. I really wanted to take the flight to Nigeria first, but we stopped off there. We stayed maybe 12 hours before we flew out again. That is how badly I wanted to get out of the country and into Nigeria. So,
Oh wow.
but anyways, we did that, and now we're here. But don't get me wrong. What I'll do is I'll save all the talk, or most of the talk, for when I come back.
Okay.
But yeah, Ghana's cool, Nigeria's cool, everywhere's cool, It's all blessed,
Please,
But anyways,
Yeah.
outside of that, we got a lot to talk about. Fortunately, we have 2 lovely ladies that are more than willing to discuss stuff. Hopefully, they've got the briefs of what they can talk about. I would like one of them to talk about what they want to talk about first.
Oh, you're not even gonna ask them how their week's been.
That's what I'm saying.
What's been going on?
What's been going on?
Sorry, man. I'm discombobulated because I'm somewhere else. Ladies, how have you been? Let's start off with me. Nine.
You're taking liberties, isn't it? On purpose.
Yeah.
Nine. Yes, 9.
it's been a pretty relaxed week, to be fair. Just work. Started full time for the first time in my life, so it's one of those ones. Just
I can't believe that you've never had a full-time job.
no.
She's quite young, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Oh, okay, you must be.
22. So
Oh my days.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So wait a minute, you came into this place, you even addressed me by my name. You ever call me uncle? You should be calling me uncle throughout this whole podcast.
God.
You should definitely be calling Mr. Wolf uncle. Mr. Wolf is almost about 4 times your age.
You're a joker, bro.
Is
Nowhere
hold on,
near
hold
as
on,
old as
hold
what
on,
people
hold
think.
on, hold on.
In fact, I'll tell you about my age.
22.
22, yeah.
she is indeed. Yeah.
Wow, she was born after the millennium bug.
No. What's the bug?
Yes.
Okay.
She was born after
When were you
2000.
born?
No, I wasn't. What in
talking about?
2018?
No.
I don't know how you
What
keep
is
that
your
count.
maths?
Yeah.
Bruv, what's wrong
Yeah.
with your maths, man?
I thought the millennium bug was something that you lot say about
Right.
like something that happened in the 90s, but I was very much born in the
Around.
90s.
2 plus 2, bro.
Yeah,
What's going on?
96.
You was born in a good year of hip hop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
You
real.
was born in a good year of hip hop, so you missed it. Apologies for that.
Nah, do you realize that you're young enough to be my child?
I'm young enough to be most people's child. But I mean, what can I say, man?
That's mad.
Yeah.
That's mad. It's
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah, I mean,
Well-
without disclosing what we do for work, but Nai is my colleague, and we have many a discussion at work about
We do,
various
indeed.
things. Sometimes we may play the podcast when we can at work, and then we'll start talking about it. But her
Slacking
opinions.
work then, innit?
Nah, I'm the boss, bruv. And well, she's the boss now as well. So she's now
Hey,
taken.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
She actually took my position where I am, because I've moved from my base to somewhere else, and we'll talk about that shortly. But yeah, Nai's got a lot of opinions on blackness, and do you know what she loves? Do you know what I like about her? She loves black men,
Amen.
and she always has got something good to say about black
Nigerian
men.
men. Let's be real.
Oh, is that the only reason you brought her on the show?
No, I wanted her on for quite some time.
Let's get on to this.
But how about Mo? We ain't spoke about Mo.
Exactly.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you was moving on.
No, because I wanted to ask her about that because she mentioned something, so I wanted to ask her about it. So this is your first full-time job.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel to be working full-time?
To be honest, just like I could have done it sooner, but I'm one of those people I didn't want to come and die for anything. So right now, I mean, it just feels like I'm adulting, you know,
You know what? I'm looking at her in awe because I can't remember that feeling.
Oh, when you started your first full-time
Yeah.
job? I can remember mine.
Just,
But
you know.
Yeah, like the sleep. I take my sleep very seriously, so it's been a struggle, but I'm doing it, innit? Like,
Oh, we thank him. We thank that you have your full-time job, but you're not, on the streets doing nothing or doing rubbish there. Just gathering yourself, walking around with nonsense boys. You're working. That is good.
I remember my first full-time job as well. My first full-time job, I think, was working for Alexander. Alex Amosi. I think that was my first full-time job.
That's not even a job, man.
Bruv, it was a wicked job, and
It was a job.
Trust me.
You people did everybody doing things that was
I was
money
getting paid,
related
bruv. I was getting paid. But anyway,
getting paid to have fun. That's what I'm saying.
it was great.
Mo, how was your week?
Oh, yeah.
It's been okay. I'm actually really excited to have gotten the call to be on the pod, though I'm supposed to be editing my own pod now. So after this, I'll go back home and finish editing. But yeah, it's been all right. Just doing a podcast. And also me and Wahala were talking about organising a bit of a pod meetup.
Why are you saying it on the thing? So you're trying to put me on the fire, so I have to do it.
I'm just saying, because now I've said it, now we definitely have to do it.
I
like that.
I don't have to do a damn thing.
We've agreed that we're going to do it together.
I like that.
Hold on, you want to do it together? Is that what I heard?
That's what she said.
And you involved as well.
No. That's your business, man. Good luck. Because as far as I'm concerned, I think that it's going to be, people are not going to be on it, but they're going to be on it and not come. I've
already spoken to a few
This guy ain't got
people.
no confidence in most things. Don't mind him.
Tops was telling me, give me some tips as well about that, because apparently they did a YouTube video one as well. So she gave me like locations and all this stuff.
Cool.
So, you know what? That's what I'm saying about black women, If a black man says he wants to do something, black women will find a way to help you.
Exactly, and that's what we're doing.
I give them that.
Large up tops. I like tops.
There we go.
Not
All
bring
right,
me
can
down.
we get started then?
No,
I
talk about my week as well.
I actually want to talk about my week.
Let me talk about your week.
Listen, just be quiet there. Respect your elder.
Hurry up, man, because people don't care about all this stuff.
Listen. Okay. Well, I want to talk about it. Yeah. So, on Friday, I had a school. You're such a bastard, This guy's doing story. I had a school reunion, innit? You know what I mean?
Oh, really? How many years?
That's what that'll be giving away my age, innit?
Well, what, are you scared to give away your age?
I don't want people knowing my age. Fuck that.
Why?
I don't know.
What's wrong with you, man?
Because he's a girl, that's why. He's a girl.
Well, it's going to be more than 10.
Oh, listen. It's secondary school. It's not even college.
It's about 30 years.
Close.
30.
Close.
Wow.
25
Close.
years.
Close. But anyway, so it was only the guys. So there was about 4 of us in a WhatsApp group, and we decided to just meet up. The first meet up flopped. Nobody was there. There was only about 3 men out of 3 out of 5 people that were there met up, and then more people started to come into the group. So we decided to do another meet up, and we met up on Friday, and it was that week, so and so years ago, that we started school. And trust me,
nice.
it was so good. Some guys I hadn't seen since I was 16 years old.
Wow.
And we moved from there. We had a buffet. There was about 25 men.
25 man, all right.
Chatting,
out of 25 man.
enjoying.
How many of them went last out of 25?
Bruv, no one went jail,
Not one.
But that's the guys
None
that
of
came.
them. Exactly.
That's you.
There were others that
gosh.
wanted to come, but they couldn't make it. But
Because of jealous.
Well, who knows, mate? But people have gone through all kinds of things, mate. But the discussion was good, and one thing I want to talk about with relation to age, we moved from there to a bar stroke nightclub, and not for, when you go to these clubs now and they take your ID to take a picture, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It wasn't for that, but the guy asked me for ID. and I felt good about it.
Okay.
Trust me. I was thinking here, and
But you do know that's because you're short, not because you
no,
look young.
it's because I look young.
Okay,
Bruv. Trust me.
All right.
The man thought I was 18.
No,
I was
take
like,
it.
yeah.
Take it.
He did it for you was 18.
Trust me.
Take it.
He couldn't believe a fully grown adult was this small. That's what he was.
What man cares if they look 18 or not?
Listen,
Mr. Wolford, obviously,
I'm
no one told
happy.
me his
Listen,
age.
I get compliments
So
about
vain.
me looking young, man.
No
I'm
wrinkles.
happy.
I like it.
Thank you.
His eyes has got a bit
Because
of
you're so
pros.
old.
Well, thank you.
He's got
Because
pros in his
I'm
eyes.
older, man. But anyway,
Listen,
yesterday
if you let his hair grow, nobody would compliment him
That's
about
true.
his age.
Bruv,
Because then they'll know.
they would listen. If I had loads of hair, like big Wahala,
But you don't.
I'll look like 15, bro. But anyway,
There we go.
moving on. Swiftly moving on to Saturday, and I had a leaving do or a leaving set of drinks. Like I said, I've moved location, and I was convinced by Nai and another colleague to do a leaving do. She convinced me that I had to get there first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't
To
want to.
welcome your guests.
Yeah, because people are there for you.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to make an entrance.
He
innit?
literally
You know what I
said,
mean?
"Yeah, I want to come in as if it's like
Wow.
his birthday."
Yeah,
It's
man.
not your wedding, you know.
And I was sitting there waiting for well over an hour for anybody to come. I was there on my jack, you know, on my Todd, and then one colleague came, and it was just the two of us for even longer. And I booked a table, and everybody's looking at me. Are your people coming? I said, oh, I hope so. But in the end, enough people. It was about 10 people, 10, 11, 12. That was a good number. And yeah, no, it was good.
For Mr. Wolf, they turned up.
They all turned up for me, man. You get me? And it was a good night, man. I enjoyed myself. My work colleagues are great, and I'm going to miss them. Trust me.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
man.
Wonderful. We thank God for
We
that.
thank God for my life.
Okay. All
So
right.
what's going on? Big
All
Wild?
right, so I had a normal week. I did work and all that rubbish, but on the weekend I went to the Afro Hair Talk in it that my missus was doing.
Nice.
But let me give you the joke thing, yeah. All right, so it was a bunch of, let me say, Nigerian women, because that's what it seemed to be, yeah. So there was about
Okay.
50.
I'm feeling
50.
already like we're gonna be attacked.
No, there was about 50. There was about 50 Nigerian women in a nice hotel, plush hotel. They had a room there to do the talk.
Okay.
And like a fool, I forgot that it's gonna be Nigerian women, yeah, which meant
Right.
that their husbands are not coming to this thing.
So you was
most
there.
definitely.
I was the one man there
Why did you go?
because I wanted to go support my woman in it because she was doing something.
Was
like
she hosting it?
Yeah, she was doing like
Okay.
a talk or whatever.
Oh,
so I went to
So
go. and-
Wahala, are you saying Nigerian men don't support their women?
Of
Is
course
this
not.
what you're saying?
Not in this type of. If there was something that they could do that involved for them, then yeah, of course. But this is to do hair. What man is gonna be like? I could imagine my mom asking my. In fact, this is what made me laugh. When on the same day that we was going, I called my mum and said, "Mum, do you want to come?" Because I didn't really. For some strange reason, I didn't ask her. I just said, "Yo, Mum, do you want to come?" She goes, oh, "Okay, cool." And then my dad picked up my phone, and he was the one that was talking. And he was like, "Okay, yeah, we should be ready." Blah 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 blah. So then we was driving down. Mum's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to get to the back." I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "Oh, you know,
that's another-
because your mum and dad's getting." I said, "Do you think my dad's coming? Do you think my dad's coming to this thing? My dad's not coming anywhere." In my head, I knew my dad weren't coming, but I should have thought
Yeah.
the same thing about all the rest of the husbands. Because when I got there, I was thinking, there might be a couple man them there, innit? Still, not one man, just me on my own, boy, and I had to stand up throughout the whole thing.
All them man
'Cause
there
there
were
was no
just
seats.
relaxing, drinking Gouda, man.
Yeah, man, I was
Good
there.
and
They was there
stuff.
watching good football that I wanted to watch in the first place.
Yeah, there you go.
But I took pictures and stuff like that, so I was helpful at least.
You was there supporting
Yeah.
your woman.
Yeah.
Doing
so-
the right thing.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah.
she,
Because she was hosting.
yeah, she had a good show. She went on there. She spoke about locks and stuff like that, and a lot of people are interested. Everyone was always interested about having locks at one point in time. Then they ask her all the questions, and then it takes them
Ain't
about
that
20
right
years
now?
before they come back because they don't want to do it because they're scared about. The one thing that I find women seem to be scared about with getting locks is how do I take it out and get my hair back again the way it normally is.
Mm-hmm.
So they was like, oh, can I take it out? I'm like, well, yeah, you can, but it's gonna take you ages to take it out. I'm talking like it's me talking about. She was like, yeah, you can, but it's gonna take you ages.
Age is like how long?
So yeah.
Yeah, no, because I'm
Ages.
severely interested.
Yeah, so you need to like take it out. So you need to like the hair that's been wrapped and twisted. You need to now pull it all out again.
Ages
so,
is in days or
so no, for somebody like my missus, obviously you see how long her hair is. She says it's gonna take days.
days. Okay.
So somebody's got short locks now, not too much, maybe a couple, like about 6-7 hours, maybe to take all
Oh, that's
that.
not too bad though.
Yeah, and it's so.
Yeah, well, that's what she said, but it has to. That's little amount of locks. If you got a lot of locks, then it's gonna take you ages. So it depends on
How thick the locks are.
how thick
and-
they are. Yeah, how many locks there are in the hair and stuff like that. But yeah, it was
North London
interesting.
siren.
It was so interesting that talk. Like Stav would have loved it, to be honest.
I'm interested.
Stav would have loved it. Well, I did speak already. Nobody bought no tickets. I didn't see nobody here that should have been there.
Did you publicize
Yes,
it?
I did.
Did you
Several-
tell me?
Yes.
I don't remember you telling me about
You
that.
didn't tell
I
me.
said it on the podcast at the end of the podcast for the past 3 weeks.
But
Yeah, he said it 3 weeks in a row. He's promoted it.
Yeah.
That was his promotion.
Shows you how long you lot get to the end of the podcast, and I've been promoting it on Twitter as well. But it was so interesting. Like there was a lot of like black women in their hair, man. This is a struggle, bruv. Trust me, it's a journey for them,
what?
man.
It is a journey.
Well, nah. What is it a journal?
Yeah.
Oh no, I thought he was gonna say a different kind of struggle, but now that we've cleared that up,
No, it's like a journey. Like there was so
Yeah.
much things that people were talking about. They had like scientists there discussing all this. Like
Yeah.
I never knew. Well, I did know that black women in their hair is so important to them, but everyone's got a story. It's like everyone's got a story about their hair. It's like, you know, one lady was asking questions about, you know, if I get locked up, because my miss had a model. So she was asking the model, you know, when you go to work, when you go to work?
Exactly.
Are they okay with you with it? And
Yeah.
I'm like, rotted. And then there's other women that were talking about their scalp and how they've got this problem with their scalp. And this thing I didn't know about is when you have a baby, your hair drops out in certain
yeah,
places.
Yeah.
post.
I was like, well, bruv, they were talking their talk. It's like I was inside a secret society.
You were the
Do
fly
you-
on the wall.
Do
Yeah,
you feel
basically.
that maybe some of your views about women,
No.
how they wear their hair, has changed,
No.
or you become at least a bit more informed?
I've been more informed, but I kind of knew a lot of the stuff they were talking about anyway. But like with regards to the actual styles and stuff like that, the thing that I took from that I didn't really know about is the condition that they were talking about. Like their hair's got this, or they got like they were free to say that my hair's got this problem, or I have got that problem, or my scalp is like this, or my scalp is like that. You know, how can you help me to do this? And it was really good that the way that they were, you know, trying their best to help each other to get through it.
I think a lot of men should really be educated in black women's hair instead of saying, you should stop wearing weave.
Yeah, you
That's
should, though.
actually all you know.
But you should stop though.
Oh no, that's fine. But it's like if you need the education, like a lot of guys
That's the
need to really just
foundation.
get education and be educated. It's not just stop
Talking
wearing
about-
weave.
Go on.
Sorry. Talking about hair, then my daughter, she has. I'm sure everyone that listens to the podcast more than a couple of times has heard my stance on natural hair and black women. So I married a woman with natural hair, and we promote that and push that to our daughter at the moment. And I can't leave this. So my missus buys the highest grade of products, and she does all of the stuff herself. Even though she's not prolific with hair, she's learning with my daughter now. But anyways, as we leave our house in the UK, I cannot, and I'm not exaggerating. I want you to know I'm not exaggerating. I cannot be with my daughter on the street for more than, I don't know, an hour without multiple people mentioning my daughter's hair, including black people. Her hair, everywhere. And I'm thinking, because she's 2. I personally, I don't see the big deal, but it's natural. It is quite long for a 2-year-old, I guess. When I look at other children, maybe around her age, then maybe the hair's not as long. So it's quite long. It's very thick. I think that's the Ghanaian side. They have thick hair, and because it's well looked after, it's cool. So that's that. Now I said, okay, it's a big deal in the UK. I'm actually bored of it now. I can't go outside without them mentioning their hair. I said, I wonder what it's going to be like in Africa, because surely in West Africa, where 2-year-olds, I understand that as they grow older, they start doing nonsense to their hair, but 2-year-olds are all going to have natural hair, and nobody's going to mention her hair. Same thing in Nigeria and Ghana. I cannot be on the road without people mentioning their hair. And I'm now sitting here baffled as to what is so special about my daughter's hair, that even in the darkest of West Africa, where 2-year-olds are running around with natural hair, although a lot of them is braided, she doesn't really braid her hair, that what is so special about her hair? I'm sorry, that's not really a conversational point, because none of you can say that about it.
I'm gonna touch on that though, because that was one of the massive things that they spoke about. Like almost all the women there that had gone natural, let's say about 70 to 80% of them had mentioned their child. It was like, I had a child, and I didn't want my child to think of my hair to be weave, and I didn't want to say say this, that, and the other. So I went natural.
Both boys and girls.
No, women.
More no.
Black children.
Girls.
I'm talking
No, they didn't
more
care
so
about
for their.
They didn't mention no boys. Who care about boys?
Yeah, but that's the thing.
But
though.
I think
I
it's
think that
just
they
as
should.
important for the young boys to
Yeah,
I
also
believe it
see
is
that,
just as important.
because when these boys get older and they have comments about black women's hair and their bodies, it's
One
good for
time.
them to see.
But they didn't care about the boys. It's the girls they cared about, because they all got daughters, and they was all like, oh,
Yeah.
It's like the
my
reflection.
daughter. Yeah, they wanted to make sure that their daughter saw natural hair and how it
Definitely.
looked. They all know that when they're children, and they will say this, I know when my daughter gets to a certain age, she's going to ask for the foolishness. But I wanted to see that she can have her natural hair.
I don't think so anymore. I don't think.
Did you?
I didn't.
There you go.
My hair was relaxed by
you had
force.
You had
It wasn't. No. I had it relaxed, but it wasn't by choice.
Okay, so
It
your,
was,
your parent just relaxed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But why I say I don't think so is because
What age?
I think I was about 6.
Wow.
So
Hey!
yeah.
Hi,
That's young,
Mohammed.
boy.
No, because my mum always used to say like my hair was just too thick, like she just couldn't manage it or whatever. But that's the whole.
That Ghanaian business there.
That's
Oh yeah, now
that's a whole nother. I think
No,
that's a
I'm
whole
not-
nother conversation. Why I say I don't think so is because even today, like, rarely, no one really has relaxed hair anymore. Like the natural hair movement is very big. Relaxers are on the decline severely, and I don't
Relaxers
think.
are, but wigs are.
You can
picking
thank
up.
Stavros for that.
he thinks that he's the reason
No,
why
I
there's
don't
this
think so.
movement. Don't mind him.
But there's
I am.
All right, there's a big pickup of wigs though and weaves, so
Yeah.
you're still gonna get them that wanting to do that.
I would prefer
And
women to
straightness.
wear a wig than to relax her hair.
I would prefer them to not do both.
Yeah,
But-
obviously.
and I prefer them not to put hot comb either through their hair,
Okay,
and
but-
ruin it and do all that stuff.
So why I said the whole wig thing conversation, why I say I feel like men need to be more educated. Like recently there was a study about natural hair products, right? And like you know, like how African businesses work. Like you might start off your little African hair business and do be using natural products and whatever, and then you'll get picked up by like a European whoever. There was like, I think it was something ridiculous, like 90% of the natural hair products that they tested had chemicals
Yeah.
that like cause cancer,
I saw that
infertility
study.
issues and stuff like that. So if like to maintain our hair, this is the kind of things we'd have to put on it on a daily basis. Being exposed to those chemicals on a daily basis will have an effect on you.
Well, you don't have to put them in there.
So then what would you do?
Juices and berries.
That's exactly what we do.
Just like the boy from Coming to America.
No, you don't have to.
Okay, I challenge you lot,
Yeah.
to take care of your daughter's hair
Yeah.
without no natural hair products for 2 months, and let's see what happens.
No, but you
And then-
can use natural hair products, but you have to then do the research, which is what I'm
No,
saying.
but,
now. And
but I think going back to Nye's point, these products are being marketed as natural hair products.
that's what
so
you have to do the research.
you do the research, and to be honest, a lot of the stuff we're only discovering now. So in terms of like, okay, what a sulfate is, probanes, you shouldn't have this, and what
I know
shampoo
these
you
things.
should buy.
I know these
But
things.
you know them because of your wife's profession, and you've probably learnt them recently, and the same way we're learning them recently as well.
Exactly. It's good. And stuff like even braiding your hair and stuff like that. And this is where black men need to, they need to be educated. Yes, we love a woman with a braided hair. We love it.
I love
but
it.
It mashes up their headpiece. So they
I love
can't
it.
have it in all the time the way you want to have it in all the
Yeah,
time.
but I love it.
Yeah, but you can't.
Yeah, their hairline starts going back and they look like robots.
And then you'll be, and then when they want to use their weave to hide up their mashed up
Or their
hairline,
wig.
you'll have something to
Yeah,
say.
so there's a lot of things that
leave your hair natural. Get
Because
out in the
sometimes
morning,
you're wearing
put
a
some
wig
Dax in
because
it and comb it.
Hold
you've
on,
lost your hairline, so or you're having an issue
you've
with your
got
edges.
alopecia.
You've got alopecia. You've got maybe a scalp problem.
or you just want to wear a wig. Let's be
Or sometimes
You
you want to
just wanna
switch
wear
up
a
the
wig.
look and you want to wear a wig.
And let's say
It's my choice.
You do what you want in it. I have my preference. You have your preferences in it. So
Yeah,
but as I
that's
said,
fine.
that it was very eye opening that discussion that I went to go and see. And I think that you're right. I think it was a lot of more men was in there. It would have been good for them to see
Definitely.
the different struggles. Because if you was to ask a man, what's the struggles with your hair, you'd be like, well, I went to the wrong barber one time and it messed up my hairline. That's all you're gonna hear.
Yeah.
Hairline this, hairline that. Mr. will tell you, hairline this, hairline that. That's what you're gonna hear. You're not gonna hear anything else about all of this struggle
Allow me, man.
or how some people that's got dreads might have some struggles about going to work and stuff like that.
Yep.
But you're not really gonna get much more than that.
Is it worse for a man to a regular man with hair to lose his hair than it would be for a dread man to lose his hair?
No.
Going bald.
Nah, the
You
dread
know,
mans,
I reckon
the
so.
dread mans are worse.
It's
Yeah,
worse
that
for a
is
dread,
worse.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I think because it's more obvious.
Yeah. And that's like a woman.
And most of them,
Yeah.
if you notice, most of them ain't got no hairline either.
Mm.
Because their hair's been pulled back so much, they ain't got no hairline. Don't let simple side lie to you,
Why is it going bald?
I'm that banana boy. Believe in your blood clot, barber. Anyway, let's
Let's
get
not
into
talk
it.
about your barber, Ralph.
Shut up.
Okay. It's a bit harder for me to interject as soon as there's a slight delay on the phone and everything, but we need to move on. Mo or Nye, one of you pick a topic to talk about that
okay.
was sent to you and you're hot on talking about. Let's go.
One time.
I want to get into the Nas and Kelis situation, right?
Okay.
Speak on it.
So basically, long and short of it is, Nas was cussing out his ex-wife on, I think it was Instagram.
Recently, yeah.
Yeah, like maybe like.
I don't believe he cussed her out.
Oh,
Go on.
he basically said you're evil spirited.
I believe he showed his truth.
Go on, man.
Right.
His truth. Okay.
Your evil spirit. He cussed her out in it. Like he drawed her out. And a lot of comments was talking about how he shouldn't do that. You know, that's his ex-wife. You were with her. Whatever. My thing is, right. I'm very big on
Hold it there. Just to give a bit of context to people that don't know, Nas and Kelis got married a few years ago. They had a son called Knight. They got divorced. A few years, about 2 or 3 years after the divorce or so, Kelis came out in an interview. This is a few months ago. We spoke about it, and she said that they had actually got into domestic abuse, physical abuse. He had hit her, she had hit him, and she gave as good as she got, but she had been
allegedly
hit by Nas. Well, it's allegedly, that's what she said, and she likened it to when she saw the picture of Rihanna being hit, that she thought, you know, I'm in the similar situation. Now, this happened about, maybe 5-6 months ago or so, or maybe even longer, and Nas has been silent about it. Nobody mentioned anything. He was cancelled, you know, by some of the community, and for some reason, I don't know why, but obviously they were having a case around their son as well. There was a custody battle, which I think now they have joint custody. I think that's somewhat resolved itself. Maybe because that's resolved itself now, he feels that he can discuss this issue.
That's not the point, though, is it?
Six or 7 Instagram posts.
Yeah, it was a lot.
This is the thing
that was better than his album.
When Nai's talking about.
Go on, Nai.
This is what Nai is talking about. Discussing the situation he did. I wouldn't necessarily call it cussing her out. I know he had some bad words to say about her, but he didn't put it in a.
Have you got a text?
Yeah, I'm literally scrolling through it now.
It's long.
Give us a little bit of a taste of what he said.
He said.
So
one part he said. She's lucky that their assistants signed a non-disclosure agreement, otherwise they'll have bad things to say about her. She's verbally abusive, she's self-sabotaging, she's evil-spirited, she plays on women's struggles, basically calling her a liar, a manipulator, tearing down their son. So like it was literally like
That's
a
a
good
lot.
dissertation. Like it was
long.
He had stuff to say.
There was one bit that gave me a bit of pleasure is when he said that when you said I hate you so much right now, I should have believed you.
Yeah.
But obviously I tried to ignore it and go on who you are. But I should have listened to that when you said it was like that from before. But I think anybody that knows Kelis can see that she's a bit mad. From what I've seen of her, she's a bit mad.
What, based upon what, her music or
just her,
what are you basing this upon?
How she presents herself.
Yeah, how she presents herself. I wouldn't say that she's mad as in like a crazy person. Okay. I wouldn't say she's Azalea Banks, but I'll say that she's not necessarily an easy person. And there has been a lot of things in the industry talking about. If you notice, she has gone from label to label, and they have kind of labeled her troublesome somebody. But
in the context of this, what does that have to do with anything? If she's a bit of a difficult person or a diva, because if he was abusing her, what does that have to do with it? I didn't talk about abuse. I didn't say anything about abuse. I said that she's troublesome. I'm just saying. I'm asking why are you bringing this up? Because why not? We're talking about his truth now, innit? So he's saying that she was a bit abusive to him. She's this, she's that. In the context of what Nia just said, what I said was quite relevant. Okay. That it is known that Kelis is a bit mad. And she has been going from label to label. I think he even spoke about the fact that she was dropped from several labels because of her behaviour. Yeah. So it does match with what Nai's saying. If you want to now talk about the beating, that's a completely different kettle of fish. Okay. Mom's always after me, you know that, innit? I was just asking why you was raising that, that's all. Because I was thinking, are you trying to justify what he did? But okay. No. I listened to your point. In the last podcast, when we discussed it, I said, I don't care what she's done. You don't beat her. Right? Exactly. If she attacks you, and you can restrain her without hitting her, I would say do that. If she's attacking you with weapons or whatever, then you might have to defend yourself. I think they had fights. I don't think it was a case of him just going around beating. I think they used to have fights. But either way, you don't fight your woman. It's not something you should be doing. But that 6-page essay, that album that he wrote, for me, that was somebody that was out of sheer frustration. And the reason why he said that he had to write is because he went to go and pick up his child and she denied him access to the child again. And that's why he was... So when Stav was talking about the fact that they got joint custody,
obviously that joint custody is not being worked on correctly, because every time he's saying he's going to go and visit the child, she refuses to let him have the child. And then now she's asking for more money again.
Yeah.
And if you know how much money Nas is supposed to be giving this woman, it's a lot. So if she's asking for more money again,
it's a fraction compared to his income.
Oh my God.
I can already see the side that you're taking on this.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. Is it?
He's made a lot of money recently. He did some kind of like tech deal or something. So in the grand scheme of
might not come
things,
true yet, though.
he's not on the street or anything. So let's
but still, all of that paying money business and the way that they work it out, man. I'm not sure about it, mate.
But it goes both ways. So
yeah, but she's not giving him any money.
Either way, whether it's the man or whether it's the woman, the way they calculate is not right, man. There's something there needs to be some work on that. Anyway, go on, bro.
All right. So now, what you were gonna go in?
Yeah.
Before I stopped you and did the thing. So go ahead.
So. Okay, on one hand, there were people saying, "Oh, you shouldn't call your woman out like that." Blah, blah, blah. But you know how people say, you shouldn't speak on a black woman, etc., etc.
Yeah.
However, I'm the type of person, I just believe in the general, like, as black people, I think we're stunted and we're every single time we say an opinion, it always is portrayed very negatively, right? So as a black man expressing himself, I don't think he should have said what he said, but I don't think people should have, because if the shoe was on the other foot, nobody would have said anything to her.
Well, it was on the other foot, because she's done it already, hasn't she?
Yeah.
No, but this is what I'm saying. Like, nobody cussed her out the way.
No, she got negative.
Doing.
She got a bit of a backlash. People were not happy that she was talking at that point, and they were saying that it was strategic, that because they were going for the custody battle, that's why she raised these issues.
And surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, because I know that black women love Nas, you know. It was black women that were supporting Nas.
But I kind of hear what Nai's saying there, that sometimes black men, are asked to express themselves. They don't tend to speak out enough. The things that are on their mind, they keep it within. Am I on the right track here?
Yeah, I think it's.
And now that he is expressing himself, that people are having a go
on Instagram, though.
But that's a whole different. I don't think anyone should do it anyway. Like the whole social media thing, publicly, whatever. However, because this isn't just like expressing yourself. This seems like a mental breakdown kind of situation. This seems like something that this is on the edge of psychosis.
He seems like he's going through some things.
It seems like he had no other choice. It seems like this was like the final outlet.
The last resort. He kind of said that as well.
I think that obviously she said her bit publicly, and I think that he wants to put his side of the story across, because maybe some.
I do think they're both narcissists, though. I think they're both crazy, but
exactly
that's just
another subject. But yeah, man, I personally, I've read some of it, and I think that as much as I don't co-sign the whole public, airing your dirty laundry in public, I think that he is going through something at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think those people that are close to him, when they saw that Instagram thing, if you're a true friend, if you're family of Nas, that you need to reach out to the brother, because you just don't know. There are some brothers, there's some men out there going through some serious issues with relation to their kids. There are some women out there who are very vindictive and very evil. I will say that because I even just the other day, I heard a story with relation to a guy and his child. You get me? And he was close to tears. You get me? And I've gone through some things. I won't tell you about them, but I've gone through some things. But when I hear other stories, I look up to God and say, you know what? Thank you, because some of them stories are mad, and it seems like he may be going through something similar.
I saw the maddest story today. One woman and was with a man.
I know what you're gonna say.
Was with a man, yeah. So basically, they were together for a while. They had a child, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly they had sex. They had a child.
Are you sure they had sex?
The child was. I'm assuming the child was in the man's life for a while, and then eventually, I think those two might have broken up. And then she denied him seeing his child for 2 years. I think it was, yeah. So then he tried to go and see the child one time. He knocked on the door and he's like, and then eventually they said, you know what? No one's seen this child for 2 years. I haven't seen the child for 2 years. My family hasn't seen the child for 2 years. What is going on? And he went to the police and said, look, I haven't seen my child for 2 years. I'm speaking to people. I'm asking where the child is. Nobody's seen the child for 2 years. What is going on? Yeah.
Why did he wait 2 years?
I don't know. I think he was trying to do things before, but she just was airing him out. So but eventually he just went to the police. All right. So
as a man, you have no rights in this thing. So if 2 years is not even a death thing, because a woman will tell you to piss off, and you have to piss off because you can't hit her. Apparently, you can't take the child because that's kidnapping. You can't do nothing. So as a man, you just have to tuck your toe between your legs and climb top of parliament in your Superman.
There's
court
legislation.
system.
There is a court system, and sometimes it takes long. And 2 years is quite normal.
Hold on, let me finish because
I
need to finish this story.
Land.
So.
Yeah, you started it wrong, by the way. But
Okay, so what did I say wrong? Say it.
Basically, I don't think they were in a relationship. I think they did a thing.
Oh, maybe yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So and then you have a child. Here's the child.
Yeah. So then
and then you mixing it up for a while, and then it's like, I want child support. You have to include the child support part as well. Yeah.
So she started to give her child support, and he's got pictures with the baby or whatever. So they're not in a relationship. Sorry, yes, that's right. But obviously she said the child is his. He was happy. He was, I got a child, blah, blah, blah. Took pictures, blah, blah. But then he didn't see the child for 2 years. No one saw the child for 2 years. Eventually, he went to the police, and the police said, this is a bit, what's going on? So they went to the woman and said, where is this child? And she goes, I don't know what child you're talking about.
What?
Never heard of him. Never heard of Timmy.
That must be a joke.
Timmy don't exist. What do you mean? They went to look at the, when they have their birth, the birth certificates and the registered parent and every stuff like that. As a parent, she's only registered for one child, yeah? Which is a 14-year-old daughter or something.
She never registered the birth.
Hold on.
Flipping heck.
So then there was more investigations. It turned out that child was her friend's child, that she pretended was hers, so she could take this guy and take child support.
Wow.
The man was in
This guy's laughing.
The man was in bits. He wrote a letter saying to the real parent saying, hi, I'm John or whatever. Your child Timmy, I thought was mine. He brought so much joy into my life, into my family's life. I really thought he was mine. I've been fighting or wanting to see my child for years, not knowing that this child is not mine. He was in bits.
The policewoman that was reading that note started to cry herself. But one of the things, another policeman said, he said, this is what it sparked. He said, so he's not a father. The grandparents are not grandparents. His siblings are not uncles and aunts. All of that was make believe, non-existent.
Did this happen here in England?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a UK thing. And then guess what the woman got? What do you think the punishment for her crime was?
She got I know what she got. She got a caution.
No, she didn't get a caution. What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think, Mo? What do you think? No,
wasn't it fraud?
Yes, fraud.
Yeah, so what do you think she got?
I don't know. I don't know how much money it would have.
Community service.
No. I'm taking too long. 2 years.
In prison?
Yeah.
I think that's quite heavy.
Nah.
I think...
Put her there for 7 to 8 years.
I think for the amount of time...
I think 2 years is cool.
I think 2 years is okay.
I think that's reasonable. I think that she'll be out in 12. So 12 months.
Yeah, she'll be out in 4 to 6.
Because she didn't just defraud him, as they were saying, she defrauded the whole family.
And the government.
It's the government. She got done for government fraud.
Yeah.
So the immoral thing that she done to the guy, there's no crime against that, really.
No crime
at
all.
It's a lie, isn't it?
Probably not.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right there, 47.
Go on, Sav.
No, I was going to say, it's not all that bad, mate. There are worse situations you could be in.
Yeah, but you know what? Everyone's different, man. You know what I mean? Some guys, when it comes to their kids and, they just break down, man. When they can't see them, man. There's sad stories out here. But anyway, Mo, what's going on?
I want to talk about Miss Serena Williams.
I want to talk about Miss Serena Williams too.
Okay, good.
Indeed.
So
I want to talk about Naomi.
I'm very glad we're recording on Sunday because we can fit this in. It just happened recently.
Yeah.
Who wants to describe the topic?
Go on, Mo.
Well, I actually want to talk about this because I recorded on Saturday morning, so I wasn't able to include this on my pod, so it's quite good.
Exactly.
Exactly. So Miss Serena, she's playing the US Open, in the final against Naomi Osaka, who's half Japanese, half Haitian.
Half black, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she looks black as well.
Yeah, she looks very black.
They like to keep calling her Japanese only.
They keep referring to... Because she's representing Japan.
Yeah, she is actually.
Yeah.
Is her mum or dad?
Her mum is
Japanese.
And her dad is Haitian.
So she didn't take her daddy's name.
She grew up in America.
She didn't take her daddy's name. Goddamn 47. But anyway.
Okay. Anyway, so they were playing the final, and the umpire accused Miss Serena Williams of cheating, taking coaching instructions from her coach, which is apparently not allowed. I actually didn't know that.
Yep, it's against the laws of tennis.
And Miss Serena went to go and speak to the coach and told him
the
directly.
The umpire.
Is she your teacher?
Oh, sorry, the umpire.
Is she your teacher? Why do you keep calling her Miss?
You know what? I feel like she deserves that respect, because
she's a missus now. You know that, innit?
She gets disrespected quite a lot. So she went and told the umpire that she was not cheating and that she would rather lose than to cheat, and she's never cheated.
She told him in an aggressive way.
No, she told him in a direct way. She didn't.
She was affirmative.
She was aggressive. But when Serena's talking,
it was affirmative. It was just stating the facts.
It was very firm. It was very direct.
It was very forceful. It was very forceful.
It was direct, not forceful. She didn't raise her voice. She just told him directly, straight.
She did raise her voice. Come on now, let's not lie to you.
No, she wasn't aggressive, and I think that's actually quite. I think that's quite damaging to say that she was aggressive. She was direct.
Okay, go on.
Yeah. She may raise her voice so he could hear her, but she was direct.
Yep.
And then she basically, that was one of the reasons why she lost the match. And well,
100%.
But she also then went on to I think it was at the end. She was very passionate, talking about how she does it for her daughter, and he owes her an apology. Like she was very.
And then she called him a thief.
That's when he got the point, though.
Yeah.
She called him a thief.
Yeah.
No, Dr. Game.
But he got her a point because. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's a point. He gave her extra caution or whatever.
Yeah,
so she got 3 cautions in one game, innit?
Yeah, she got a court violation.
Let me explain it.
Why can't I let Mr. Wolf explain?
When she was accused of
Go on.
When she was accused of taking the coaching from the side, she got deducted a point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Then she broke her
tennis racket.
That's court violation.
Racket, sorry, and she got a caution, and then. But in the meantime, she was still cussing this empire about you. You kept calling me a cheat. You're calling me a cheat. You stole my point. You're a thief. And then once she said that, he's just like, deduct this a whole game. And then that's when other people came into the arena and they discussed it a bit more. So yeah, continue.
Yeah, listen. I mean, I'm a big tennis fan, and I have been for a long time. Everybody knows that Mr. Wolf loves sports. Football's my thing, boxing, and I love tennis. And calling her Miss Serena, to me that's all justified, because I got nothing but respect for this woman. And unfortunately, I didn't get to watch the final, but even before hearing the ins and outs of it, I'm backing Serena, mate. I have her back, and I'm backing her 100%.
Oh, I usually back Serena, but
listen, and the reason why is I've heard a lot of what most of these passionate men have said to umpires, and they've gone in. And when I mean they've gone in, they've called them all kinds of names, all kinds of swear words, all kinds of madness. You get me? And for her
to jump in, sorry then, just to finish off, just to top it off, at the press conference afterwards, one of the reporters asked her, "What would you have changed?"
I've got that, and I'm gonna play it.
Okay, go ahead then, man.
Yeah, I've got that.
Keep looking in and play it whenever you're ready. Then.
Yeah, and there's guys that have said all kinds of things. And the word thief, when you're in the midst of battle, you gotta remember, you're in the midst of battle. You're in a Grand Slam final. This is what she's good at. Your adrenaline is at 100%, and you feel like you've been violated yourself as a woman. You get me? Not just. This ain't just some small thing. This is big, man.
This is the final.
This is the final. She's trying to break this record. In modern times, she's won the most, but there is one person that she's a Grand Slam behind. And when you're in the midst of battle and you're in the Grand Slam final, in your home Grand Slam, this is a big deal. And I can understand why she said what she said, and I can understand her reaction. And when I say that I believe that her losing that game, the point and the game, affected and more or less affected the game.
Yeah.
I co-sign that, because the amount of tennis that I watch, sometimes the smallest thing, when you get put off the smallest thing, sometimes they just collapse and
She already
lose.
lost the first game 6-2, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the game, but
And-
from what I'm
and-
hearing, as much as it might have been an issue, she was getting battered.
She was getting
the same
battered
way,
in that game.
And that means nothing, because how many times has she got battered in the first
And
set
she's
and come back?
But she didn't.
It's nothing.
But she
It's,
did this time.
True.
it's,
Because
it's nothing new.
You know what? Yeah, I always back Serena. You know I love Serena as well. But if we're going by the rules, and this is my problem.
One rule for
She
one. and
called
one
she
rule
called
for
the man
another.
a cheat. She said that you're this, you're that.
Because
But then-
she got called a cheat.
Hold on. But when you asked the coach, did he do it? He said yes.
No, but
Hold on. He said
no,
yes.
no.
He said yeah. He said,
No.
did I try to coach her?
Hold on.
His exact words was, yes, I tried to coach her, but
No,
she
he
didn't
didn't.
see me. Yeah, he did. He admitted it.
Nah, mate.
He admitted it. He blatantly admitted
But,
it.
where?
but I
Where?
think
He did it.
the
It's
point
the
is,
wolf. He admitted to doing it.
He admitted
but
it.
I
He
think
admitted
the
to doing
point
it.
is
He-
there that she didn't see it.
But
so
he doesn't.
she-
He doesn't know whether or not she saw
she
it.
Yeah,
Or not.
but
she
so-
was-
He's backing his girl, innit? Just to say, oh, she didn't see it. Whether or not she saw it or not, we don't know. But the
And-
question was, did the guy do the coaching and did he do the thing?
But
Yes, he did.
also, Wahala, you need to also add into that the fact that he also said that all of the coaches do
Do
the
it. Yeah,
coaching,
agreed.
and the other coach was also coaching, and he goes that this is something that is done throughout tennis.
Agreed.
So, but there always seems to be enforced on Serena Williams.
Agreed.
And
If
that's
you let me
agreed.
finish, I'll get into
Okay.
that.
Okay,
But
because I'm going to get to the drug test thing.
So let me finish, yeah? All right. So did that happen and did she do it? Yes.
She
I mean,
didn't
sorry,
do
did
it.
he do it?
He
Yes.
did it.
Yes. Should he deduct the point? If you're going by the rules, yes.
But do you-
Hold on, let me finish because I want to get to the end. Did she smash the racket? Yes. By going by the rules, should they deduct the point? Yes. Did she get verbally abusive to the umpire? Yes.
No.
She called him a cheat. That's a verbally again. This is some. If you're
verbal
if
abuse.
somebody calls you a cheat and a liar, that is verbally
Called
abusing
her a
them.
thief.
He called. Yeah,
Sorry,
she
a
called
thief.
him a
Sorry,
thief.
and a liar. That is abusive. Whether or not you take it as an abusive term yourself, that is still abusive. So has he got a right to dock her whatever he docks her? Yes. Do I think that she gets unjustly treated? Yes, I do. I agree that most people wouldn't get that. But the problem is, if you're actually going by the rules, the guy himself didn't do anything wrong.
But do you get docked the point if you receive coaching or if your coach coaches you? Because those are two different things.
Well,
He gave her a thumbs up. You get me? And
no, he was
the-
doing.
Yeah,
I
like
was-
yeah.
But
and
she
that's-
didn't see it.
He was
Okay.
gonna.
Yeah,
she
because
said she didn't see it.
those are two different issues though. Because receiving coaching and being coached they're two different.
Again, the umpire can only see what he saw, and he saw somebody giving coaching.
And from what we know is that this umpire has been on her back
But
quite
I think,
often. This ain't the first time.
She's got beef with umpires in general,
But
and I think
I
a lot of
think-
them stick together, like the
But I
referees.
think going back to your
Can
point.
I say something about this umpire?
Go on.
Okay, go on.
Apparently, maybe I misread or it's got jumbled up since I've read it. But the last time this umpire knocked off points was against Venus Williams X amount of years ago.
Okay.
The darkies.
So because Serena mentioning the sexism, but maybe it's got something to do with either the sisters themselves
The shade.
or maybe the fact they're black.
But the other one's black as well, so it's a bit
Shadism. But anyway.
She's mixed.
Lesser of two evils, I guess.
You get me?
Japanese.
Anyway.
Go on, Mo. You got something to say?
My point is, okay, if you want to talk about rules, then rules need to be enforced across the board.
Yes.
So you can't really mention the rules if they're not being enforced against everybody, and that's
Yes.
the whole point. This is a woman that, compared to all other tennis players, she's the most tested. This is a woman that recently was told she can't wear the garments that she was wearing on the court. This is a woman that is continuously disrespected, and so now she's basically had enough. This is frustration that has built up. So yeah, I think the fact that she's put up with it for so long is amazing. So you can't mention rules.
You can.
If the rules, if the case if you're going by rules, then the rules have to be enforced. There's no point talking about rules when they're only being enforced against one person.
You know what this is the equivalent of, Wahala. It's like the professional foul. Yeah. So you're saying that yes, you can enforce the rules, but let's just say that you get pulled back. You know what the professional foul in football is when a player is through on goal, he's about to score, someone trips him up or pulls him back and prevents a goal scoring opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
The person who does that violation gets a red card and they get sent off. Yeah.
Yep.
So you're saying enforce the rules, and I'm saying imagine that happens to your team.
Yeah.
And you know it's a cup final because this is the importance. It's the Champions League final.
And it has happened to my team, but
and the player is through on goal. Your player is through on goal. It's time for you to equalize. The player pulls your guy down, and he doesn't get a red card. You're gonna be vexed. You will be fuming. You're gonna feel.
But in this case, it will be Serena that would have pulled the person back, or no?
No, but I'm just talking about rules.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I'm not disputing whether or not. As I said that she gets unjustly treated. I did say that at the end, but. If you're going by the rules, she broke the rules.
But we're not going. But the rules are not being enforced.
But they are being enforced that day.
No, they're being enforced against one person, not that day.
It's unfair, Wahala, mate.
Again, you're arguing the argument I'm not having with you. I'm not saying that whether or not she's been unjustly treated. I said that already.
Yeah, but I think that's
irrelevant.
irrelevant.
But you can't talk about rules that are not being
because
enforced.
the rules are there.
Yeah, but we know that. Yeah, but no one's disputing that.
He's not doing anything. You cannot say he's done something wrong.
Yes,
you can.
How can you say he does something wrong when he enforced the rules?
But
he only enforced it on one player. That's wrong.
He enforced the rules.
Same way if it was a football match
unjust.
and the referee is only giving I don't know, penalty kicks to the one team.
It's unjust, but he still enforced the rules.
Right. He only enforced the rules 50% of the time.
So he should have. Which one should he have done then?
Should have done both. Should have done both.
Enforced
the rules to both players.
So he shouldn't. So because he hasn't enforced the rules earlier,
no.
Just be consistent.
Took the words right out of my mouth. He should be consistent with the rules. So if
you started then to be consistent from that play, would you have been annoyed?
You know what?
If you did it later on to the other woman later, would you have still been annoyed that he did it that time?
I think that you, as a professional referee or someone who is supposedly one of the best, who's refereeing at the highest level, you have got to use your common sense.
Yeah,
you get me, and know that because what we want as football fans, we don't want the referee to influence the game.
We want a fair game.
And in this case, he influenced the final, and we don't want that.
Exactly.
But it seems to happen to her.
And I think the reason why it happened to her is because she's got previous, and I think they're all together now.
But trying to go at. That's not fair.
But then that's already creating a bias, and that's already saying that
I'm not arguing with anyone that there is not a bias against Serena.
You're arguing with me.
No, but I'm telling you there's a bias against Serena Williams. I said that.
But that already implies that the rules aren't going to be applied fairly. Because,
I'm not even saying that the rules are being applied fairly. I'm saying that she broke the rules though. So you can't tell him. Oh, what you did was wrong. Because he didn't. Because what he did was the right thing.
He didn't because he didn't enforce the rules on the other player.
I hear what he's saying, but okay, to flip, it's kind of like you're both like two cars are speeding. The police are behind you. Because you're black, you keep getting pulled over.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's discrimination.
That's discrimination.
But what they shouldn't do is not stop pulling over the black people for speeding. They should start pulling over the white people for speeding.
That's what we're saying.
That's what I said, yeah.
But him pulling over the black person for speeding is not him.
No, but then that changes your motive.
He's still enforcing the rules, isn't he? You still broke the law.
Yeah, but
you should still be.
It's also about intention.
I'm not saying that his intention is pure. I'm saying that you have given this guy the opportunity, to do his impure intentions against you.
Yeah.
Right? Fine. So you have broken the rules. So he has now decided, I'm going to pull you over because you've done that. Right? Because you're black as well, but you've broken the rules. So now you've given me the opportunity to do it. Over. Yeah? I'm agreeing with you on that. But you can't say that this guy, he did the wrong thing because he didn't. He enforced the rules. What he didn't do after, I didn't see the whole match either, was enforce the rules for all parties. Yeah, that's what.
Well,
let's have a agree on that.
But this is the equivalent. This is the equivalent of, I don't know, another case. Let's use black men in America and over here who
wait, hold on. Can I just? I get what you mean. However, rules in general are supposed to make for a fair game.
Yeah.
So if you now apply the rules unfairly, you've essentially just nullified the purpose of the rule in the first place.
I like that, but no.
No, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Because in the end, the rules are still there. He's not the one that makes the rules, is it? He just.
Can I jump in here and hopefully dead this thing because I've been listening. Basically, I think everybody's against Wahala here. Let's not mince our words. That's what it is, including myself. I will just try and explain it myself. What it is that you have rules and rules that everybody's meant to abide by. That's cool. In the real world, all rules are bent or broken to some extent on a society level that people accept. So, as we've discussed, maybe in the real world you can drive with one broken brake light at the back of your car, and not every police is always going to stop you. They understand that's illegal. You shouldn't be driving like that. You don't always get stopped. It's not that they didn't see it; they allowed it. Yeah. And in tennis, you're not allowed to coach the player on the team at all, ever, on any tournament. Some of them you can take them aside and you can ask for that time, but you can never be on the side there just doing your thing without asking for that permission first. But it happens all the time. So as much as there is a rule, the rule is broken every single tournament. So once you start picking on one person, for breaking that rule, then the rule now ceases to be fair, because we are only applying that rule to certain people for certain reasons and certain agendas.
So he should apply the rule.
With you, no, listen to what I'm saying. What you should do is what Mo and Mr. Wolf said, is be consistent with it. If you are not consistent with your rule thingy, you cannot then start saying, jump on a high horse and say, but he followed the rules. But if he followed the rules today, but he didn't follow them yesterday, and he's not going to follow them tomorrow, then
I don't know his life.
No,
I'll go about this match. I'll go about this match.
Anyway,
one thing. Okay, you want to play this thing, but one thing I do want to stress about this Serena thing, though, is I think that you notice Serena's always been able to deal with all of these situations
very well.
But I think, and this may be a bit controversial.
You're gonna say the white husband.
God.
Huh? No, it's got nothing to do with the white husband.
Here we go.
No, the husband might be a part of it. But I think that it's becoming a bit of a strain for her to be a megastar, a mother, a wife, and a tennis player. I think the baby has now pushed her maybe over to the point where she's like,
I think
you know what? I think that's a realistic thing to say, and I don't think there's any shame in that. Saying that now she has a whole child, being a like you said, very famous, a superstar, and a top athlete is going to be difficult. I think on top of that, I think she's taken a bigger responsibility representing women in the game and also in sports, because she has a daughter now. Yeah. Because that's what she says. She says she's doing it for women.
She made a point to say, "I've got a daughter. How can you accuse me of cheating? I'm doing it for her." So
exactly. Yeah. So I think she's.
That's a nonsense statement.
What do you think about that line? Because when I heard that, because during her comments to the umpire, she was like, I would never cheat. I'd rather lose than cheat. That's one of the things she said, and she's included. For some reason, I have a daughter. I wouldn't do that. I'm a mother. And I'm thinking, everybody's like, how many women are mothers? What's that got to do with anything?
No, I think it kind of goes back to what we were saying about the whole hair and representation thing. At the end of the day, I don't have any children, so I don't know if I'm chatting or not, but most mothers want to be some sort of example to their children. It's kind of like the hair thing. I want my daughter to see a good example of natural hair. So same way, if her daughter, she's probably thinking, my daughter's going to grow up thinking that I cheated in the US Open Grand Final, and that's gonna piss me. And
we know this already. Serena's won 24 Grand Slams. 24 or 23? I think it's 24 Grand Slams titles. But if she cheated, the future would be known as Serena the cheat.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that is where her frustration is gonna be from. To
piggyback off what Wahala said, maybe it's a bit controversial, but I think she's trying to be a full-time mother and a full-time tennis player at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah. If you look at Steffi Graf, when she was kind of married to Andre Agassi, they had a child, she just stopped playing tennis. That was it, done. They made a joint decision that, and he's always said that, I'll big her up for taking that decision to stop playing tennis. Now, I have nothing against her doing the two. So let me not that sound like I'm saying that, but it seems like, because look at the time when she missed her daughter's first step and she was crying because she was playing a game. It seems like she's trying to do more than maybe is possible for one woman to do. And maybe Wahala has a point. She's always been under pressure, and she always dealt with it with differently. But it seems like now, on top of the fact that people seem to get onto her case, much more since she's come back from having a baby. Don't get me wrong. There's more news stories that have nothing to do with anything she's done. She's wearing this. She's doing that. She ain't done nothing, but people are just gunning her. I'm seeing more of these stories now since she's come back from having a baby, but she's not necessarily dealing with it maybe the way she would have dealt with it 3 or 4
years ago. Let me try and play this play this thing now.
How long is it, by the way?
It's about a minute and change.
Thinking about what occurred, what would that be? I don't know. You definitely can't go back in time, but I can't sit here and say I wouldn't say he's a thief because I thought he took a game from me. But I've seen other men call other umpires several things, and I'm here fighting for women's rights and for women's equality and for all kinds of stuff. And for me to say thief and for him to take a game, it made me feel like it was a sexist remark. I mean, like, how he's never took a game from a man because they said thief. For me, it blows my mind. But I'm going to continue to fight for women and to fight for us to have equal. Like, Courtney should be able to take her shirt off without getting a fine. Like, this is outrageous, you know? And I just feel like the fact that I have to go through this is just an example for the next person that has emotions and that want to express themselves and they want to be a strong woman, and they're going to be allowed to do that because of today. Maybe it didn't work out for me, but it's going to work out for the next person.
Thank you, everyone.
That's my girl Serena there.
Yeah.
Do you know what Serena did yesterday that made me say this woman is she's just next level woman, man. So they were, after the game, obviously people were upset with what happened with the match, and they were booing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And she said to them to stop booing and celebrate Osaka's win.
Yeah.
So first Grand Slam, she's won her first Grand Slam, celebrate her. And they all started to clap for her.
Yep.
That's Serena Williams in a nutshell. That's Serena Williams that I know.
But I think that's also black women in a nutshell.
I actually think that, and most tennis players would have done that, really. So, not to big her up for it, but I don't think that's it.
She says black women in a nutshell. Boy. I don't know about
black women.
Yeah, but what about Nicki Minaj and Cardi B?
Okay.
But anyway, we're not going there, but we're saying it.
Right. So continuing on from the theme, including Serena Williams, let's include another sports player,
Colin,
and the people that Colin Kapenick. So Serena Williams had the issue, we mentioned it a few weeks ago, where the French Federation said she couldn't wear the catsuit that she wore at the French Open, and then Nike put out an advert saying something along the lines of, you can take the champion out of her clothes, but you can never take you can never strip her of her championship or something like that.
I think the word superhero was used.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, something like that. Yeah, you can take the clothes of a superhero, but you can never take her powers away. Something along those lines. So that was a black background with that on top of her wearing those clothes, and Just Do It at the bottom.
That's
now,
right.
This year marks the 30th anniversary of the Just Do It campaign by Nike. It's something that I've loved since it started. I'm a big Nike fan. Their adverts are something that did it for me. They always tug on my heartstrings. You know I'm the clitoris, and Nike just know how to do it. Nike and Apple know how to do advertising. Nike have been doing it for decades. But they're celebrating their 30th anniversary now. Now everybody knows about Colin Kapenick and his situation with the NFL. He was a quarterback, and he started taking the knees because he thought this was a good way to protest police people, brutality against black people, and that was his way of doing it. Once it got found out what he was doing, there was uproar. The NFL started making noise. He got blackballed, etc., and that was that. He's been doing his thing on the sidelines as a
hasn't had a contract since, right?
Man. He hasn't had a contract since. But we could even get into the issue about him now being able to take the NFL to the court. But that's a side issue. But in the meantime, he's been basically fighting for black rights, whilst he hasn't been playing the game. Now, he had a decent contract at the time, but obviously he's got no contract now. And he's been pumping money to charities, into individuals. He's been giving scholarships, doing all this and that under the guise of black rights. And I've been thinking, where's this man having all this money from? So what happened was that Colin Kapenick put out a post, bang, on his Twitter. And it had his face in black and white, similar to Serena. And it said something along the lines of, somebody help me out.
You should have at least given us some warning about that. Huh?
You should be willing to do the right thing, even if it means sacrificing everything.
Sacrifice something to sacrifice something. Sound like one Hollywood movie. You should be willing to sacrifice everything, even if it means that you. I can't remember, man. It's a big slogan, you know.
I think my one was
okay,
believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything.
Thank you.
Amen.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. So, and then it had to Just Do It underneath it at night. And then it was put out there that Colin Kapenick is going to be the face of the 30th anniversary of potentially the biggest marketing campaign ever in the history of the world, the Nike Just Do It campaign.
Mm-hmm.
and the USA has gone mad. Half of them are on the side of Colin Kaepernick and Nike saying, I'm going to go to the stores and buy more Nike. Wonderful, they're on the right side of history. In 10, 20, 30, 40 years time, they're going to look at Colin Kaepernick like Muhammad Ali. The other side of the fence are saying, oh my God, this man he's spitting on the flag, he's spitting on American veterans, he doesn't care about the Constitution, and we are going to burn all our Nikes, we're getting rid of them, no longer going to buy Nikes anymore, including Mr. Trump himself sending a tweet saying, what were Nike thinking? So we want to discuss the Nike Just Do It, stroke Colin Kaepernick, stroke Serena Williams campaign.
Nike
all that thing. Do you think Nike are just doing it just for money, or they're doing it for a bit of both? You know, what do you think?
I think Nike are doing it for money. I think Nike are doing it because they support him, and I think Nike are the smartest branding people on the planet and have been for a long period of time. Hold on,
sorry, I forgot to mention.
Can I just talk? Like, why you have to take?
Go ahead.
Why you have to take away my shine, though, bro? When I'm talking, you're not even in the country, you still take away my shine. Like the fact that they did this, this is not the first time they did this. When the Jordan wasn't allowed to wear the colored trainers on the basketball court. They paid for Jordan to wear the trainers every time he got a fine. They paid his fine.
Yeah, that's completely different. Though. That's different.
But Nike know how to market things. They're like whatever it is, they know how to market it. They know full well that in the end they're gonna get their money back from this situation. Yeah. Whether or not
tenfold.
Yeah, whether or not apparently there's people are burning Nikes, but people are buying Nikes just quickly. It's gone up. The shares have gone up by 13%.
They went down first, so I don't know if they've gone up now.
Can I just say Adidas shares also went down at the same time, and so did a few other sports brands.
Yeah,
so it's a general market thing.
Yeah, so well, there you go. I mean, their shares went down, but the media rhetoric will be that they've gone down because of this.
Yeah, but then it's gone back up again.
So I think that even if it was based on the Colin Kaepernick situation, I think that they would have foreseen that if it does go down, trust me, they'll have some kind of a sympathy vote or something along those lines, and it will go, and it will not just go, it will shoot up.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, black people in America are the biggest consumers anyway, so they would have foreseen that even if it did go down, they were gonna.
People buying Nikes, they're gonna buy them left, front, and center. All these white people that's burning their shoes.
I find that fascinating.
It's madness.
I find it fascinating.
It doesn't make any sense.
Let me tell you how Nike are G's. I don't know if this is real. I'm praying to God that it's real, because if it is real, it makes my heart even more entertained. I saw a poster today meant to be made by Nike, showing people how to burn Nike products correctly.
Yeah.
No.
That's funny.
I can't.
That is one of the memes going around.
I don't know if it's real. I pray it's real, because it'll make my day if it is. You know, put yourself 30 yards away from the Nike shoe before you burn it. Blah 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 blah. But
I'm 95% sure that's not real.
It has to be fake. But in the end, no matter one person burns their shoe, there's about 50 people buying trainers. If they make a Colin Kaepernick line come out, I'm assuming it's gonna come out soon. If they make a line come out, it's gonna sell like hotcakes. Somebody tweeted something actually earlier on today that I thought to myself, it was kind of like a genius idea. Somebody said, I wish that they had Serena Williams jerseys, because I would buy one. Because obviously her sport doesn't have a jersey. She has the normal tennis clothes. But he said if they had the Serena Williams jersey, I would buy one. And to be honest, I'm surprised that Serena doesn't have a brand like Jordan does.
It's true, you know.
Because Serena, I think, would be able to have a brand like Jordan. I think people buy Serenas.
I would buy it.
They'll buy Serenas.
The Serenas. It's true, you know.
They'll buy Serenas. I think they'll buy Serenas the same way they'll buy.
It even has a nice ring to it. It sounds correct.
Maybe when she gets retired, then maybe they'll release the Serenas. And obviously, you still have the jump man. You have the tennis person with the tennis racket or something.
Bruv.
SW.
You listen. Contact them via something, mate.
And let them have their money and give you nothing.
Well, I don't know, man.
But she'll gain from it.
She'll gain, yeah, but she ain't giving it to me. She's giving it to Alexis or whatever his name is.
So does that mean that you wouldn't send the information because you're not getting none from?
Yes.
Bastard.
No, there's no reason for me to send the information. They
Typical
probably already
Niger
know.
guy.
They already know this. There's not something I'm going to be telling that they
Maybe
don't know.
they don't, bruv.
They know,
you
man.
Think, bruv,
They know Nike. We just said that Nike are the best at marketing. They know. There's going to be a Serena line that comes out.
They do have a line now. What's the Ghanaian
your child in the background?
That's off-white. Yeah, I don't know what she's doing.
She's eating Ghanaian bread, man.
Please,
who's that the Ghanaian designer that does off-white?
Virgil.
Yeah, Victor.
Virgil, yeah. So he has. So what you saw her wearing whilst you're watching her having a go at the umpire at the US Open, he designed that. So he actually has a line of off-white clothes for Serena that you can actually purchase. Also,
he also designed the catsuit.
About her being Nike stroke off-white. he has a shoe for Serena's baby. So you can buy off-white Serena baby shoes or whatever the child's name is.
Yeah, but if they release the Serenas, I think they'll go crazy. But Colin Kapenick, and the fact is, you haven't mentioned the fact that they've been paying him all along as well. Not like
Yes. So yeah, that's why I brought up the money situation. Yeah, he has being paid. He had a contract. I think it wasn't a massive thing, so it wasn't like a Serena thing or a Michael Jordan thing. It was one of the smaller things. But he has been continually paid by Nike throughout his turmoils since he's been dropped. He's still been paid by Nike, and obviously now him being the face of this campaign, he would have even upped his money as well. So I think it's a big deal. I think I'm happy with Nike. Nee, what do you think about it?
No.
The
whole what's it called?
Sorry.
Some businesses in America are saying that their employees aren't allowed to wear Nike and all of that stuff. If that doesn't say they don't want your black ass in their country, I don't know what does. That's
Well, I mean, know what the original situation is about, though.
What do you mean?
You know what
taking a knee.
So the situation. He's saying that he's taken a knee because of
but they're not
police brutality against black people. But he does it during the national anthem when they're saluting the flag.
I understand but
he's telling the public.
That's just another example.
Can I tell the people that don't understand? So,
all right,
they know. Okay, but the people that have an issue with it, whether they're being genuine or not, are saying that because he is kneeling for the flag instead of standing and putting the hand on his chest during the anthem, when they are basically in essence, especially in American football, they're bigging up their veterans and the people that are serving in whatever, the Navy, the Army and whatnot. He is disrespecting those people directly by not standing up for the flag. So that is their rhetoric. So you can say that it's about black people, but they can always use that as an excuse. It's nothing to do with black people. It's to do with respecting the flag of your country and the veterans that have fought for your country, even though you never did.
Yeah.
All you did was play sports.
That's their interpretation, simply because. But the thing is, he's actually said the reason now. So, but they're choosing to just nullify what he said, why he's actually doing it, and I just think they're being a bit. I can't say they're being a bit sensitive, but it's not like he just started doing it with no backstory and he just said, I'm just going to do it because I hate America and America's racist. He said that I'm doing this because of police brutality. It's not just something that he just went on a whim and done.
Not just that, though. He also spoke to a veteran and asked him, what is the best way for me to do this? And the veteran said, take a knee.
Exactly. It's not
because he was doing something else originally. I forgot what it was, but
I think it was sitting down.
Something he was sitting down, and then when he spoke to the president, he said, "No, sitting down is disrespectful. Taking a knee shows that you're still respecting the flag, but you're making a point at the same time."
Right. So for them to still say the disrespectful thing, that to me that doesn't make sense. It's just another example of choosing not to listen to something on the basis of your emotion, and
it's not even emotion. It's because in terms of everyone's getting so angry against Nike. You know what? Why don't you put some of that energy against police brutality against black people?
Because they don't like us.
And that's my thing. Everyone's like, people are literally cutting things up and burning things. There's people dying, and yet you're not doing anything there. So I think it's actually proven the point that this is how little regard that these people have for black people's lives.
There was one guy that was quite smart. That obviously people are gonna do it, but it's like, if you're gonna cut up all your Nikes or you're gonna cut up all your stuff, I've got plenty of charity homes that need it.
Exactly.
Bring the clothes. Send them to
Donate
Jamaica.
it.
I think it was Jamaica. He was asking, like, I got people in Jamaica that needs this, so if you've got things that you can give in, we can send it away. I doubt anybody's going to bring it in.
And also, people don't understand what a boycott is. You don't go and burn your stuff that you have or go and purchase stuff to burn it. If you want to really boycott Nike, don't buy their products. That's it.
Yeah, but we're dealing with stupid people, innit? Well, only stupid people would burn shoes with their own.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Foolish people there.
But I think
bread.
Going back to Nike, I think that this was a very calculated strategy and campaign. They understood that this would bring them like world attention. So for them, I don't think it was even a gamble. They've looked at maybe they'll get a backlash. They actually probably was hoping that they would, because it all brought attention to their campaign. We're talking about it even now. So it's a really
whether
good...
they even care about police police brutality.
Exactly.
Police brutality at all. I think that's a separate issue, but it's consumerism, innit? They just
Because
making their money.
I even said on my podcast that if they really cared, Nike, they provide sponsorship to the NFL. Withdraw your sponsorship.
And there were some people that
You can't. They've signed a contract, by the way. You can't just sign a contract, long-term contract. I say we ain't doing it no more. So
where you can,
come on,
where
come on
you,
now.
well,
You can
you
say-
can,
There's some morality
you work in that world.
clauses.
You work in that world.
yeah,
work
but
in
you
that
can
world,
you
work
can
in
buy
that
it
world.
out.
There's morality
But no,
clauses as well.
So what's the morality clause? What's the
They can
what
they
say?
say that they are because the fact that they are penalising players now for if they do want to kneel during the anthem.
Yeah,
then
but
there
it's
you
a
go.
corporation. Your job can tell you that you can't wear this or that you can't, stand in that area or whatever. You can't tell a company
Not if it's
how
against
to treat their
my
employees.
not if it's against my beliefs. They can't.
Yeah, but no, that's religious beliefs. You can't just say, oh, you can't do, you can't say I'm going to kneel down, I'm going to sit on the floor and work not on a desk, and that's cool. They might say, no, you can't. You have a desk there. We provided you with a desk.
I'm just saying that if Nike really wanted to show that they are in fully support, they could do something like this.
Listen. We know that anything is possible,
think they
Stav. Bruv, things are possible.
No, but
Sorry.
Even if they can't, it will just be a financial penalty. So that's money talks in it. So
Yeah.
if it was really that deep, they could just say,
They
okay,
could do what
we're gonna
they want,
withdraw and then take the. I'm not saying that they should. I'm just saying like. If
And
they
then
really
they'll
wanted
probably
to.
be looking to take them to court or whatever. They can do what they
Yeah,
want. They're a
Nike
powerful organisation.
They have enough lawyers.
That's what I'm saying. And what we have to add is that not only were Nike sponsoring Colin Kapenick, there were celebrities as well that were giving donations to him to help these charities. You get me? We were talking a couple of weeks ago about celebrities that publicize the good deeds that they do, and some of them don't. And some of these guys did not. And, I think that's something that we have got to take into account as well.
Just going back to what you just said about, Nike could do this and Nike can do that and the lawyers can get involved. If the whole point of the discussion is that why we're having the discussion about this whole situation is because the US government and the police system and everyone else is corrupt, if their government's against him, which the president is blatantly is, it's not really much they're going to be able to win, are they? They're probably going to lose. So there's no really point of them doing
No,
that.
but in losing, it's just like I said, it's just going to be a financial penalty. It's not going to be.
No, that depends what it is.
I'm talking about if they were to withdraw their sponsorship from the NFL, it
But
will
is
be a financial penalty.
Do they actually sponsor the NFL or do they sponsor the players within the NFL?
They got to be one of the sponsors, some kind
I
of
think
major sponsor.
Yeah,
the
it's a
advertisements.
major sponsor.
Even
I think it's to do with the care, some of the care and stuff.
even if they withdrew their
remember what it is.
advertising, they don't
Yeah, but
have
then
to.
it wouldn't work because they need the advertisement to pump the message that Colin is doing this shit for us.
From the NFL, that's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay,
Can I go
have you all seen the advert?
Okay, go on.
Yeah, I saw
Yes.
it.
Have you all seen the advert?
Yeah.
You all like it or what?
Yeah,
I
it's a
like
good
it,
advert,
man.
man.
Did it make anyone cry?
No.
Did it make you cry, bruv?
He referred to
No.
he referred to Miss Serena as the greatest athlete of all time. So yeah, I liked it.
You're a Serena fan.
Yeah, I am.
I don't know if
you
Serena's the greatest athlete of all time. She might be one of my top favourite athletes of all time.
Okay.
But I don't know if she's the greatest because it's not my sport, I suppose.
I love her tennis, man. Trust me.
I love Serena, but for what she does outside of tennis, she's massive. But there's a lot. It just annoys me that Jordan could be Serena and he's just a nonsense man. But anyway, let me not get into Jordan. But
Segue.
No.
all right, I want to jump on something, right? Because on this weekend, a rapper passed away, Mac Miller. I don't know if anybody listens to Mac Miller.
No, I don't listen to him.
The white.
He's a white rapper,
Yeah.
and he's good. Mac Miller is good. He's actually a good rapper. All his albums are decent, very good. Probably my second favorite white rapper after Slim Shady, if I'm gonna be honest. And I mean the old one, not this new rubbish. But the problem I got with the passing, obviously he died, rest in peace and all that, malarkey. But another drug overdose.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do about this new age music, especially hip hop, and all these drugs that they take? It's getting ridiculous now. This is not the first one that's had an overdose. Maybe this year, there's a couple that's died already because of drugs overdose. All of this lean, all of this prescription drugs that they're taking. When is it gonna be a point where people are like, we need to make a big effort to stop this madness because it's getting mad now.
Boy, I don't know, man. I mean, when it comes to drugs and music, it almost comes in hand. However, it's let me ask the question furthermore than making a statement. is it more associated with rock than it is for maybe black music per se? And I'm talking about Class A drugs.
Class A drugs rock by far. I don't think people think in hip hop that they take Class A drugs.
But yeah, so is it now becoming more prevalent in hip hop and R&B?
I don't think that these drugs are classified as Class A. These are prescription drugs.
Yeah, but these people are taking cocaine, bruv.
No.
Man, they're taking coke, man.
It's not cocaine that's killing them though.
And what is it?
The prescription drugs. Like
so what is this guy?
I'm not sure which one he died of. But I think it's probably prescription drugs. I don't think it was cocaine.
Fair enough.
But again, the normal drugs that they were taking now is Molly, which is I forgot I read about what it was.
Some cough mixture.
Yeah, the lean is the cough mixture one. Codeine mixed with fizzy drink and all this stuff.
What's wrong with these people?
I don't know, but it's mad. It is mad the amount of things that's making these people die and all these drugs that they're taking. He was a good rapper, fantastic rapper. 27 years of age, now gone. Could have an overdose.
Any children?
No, but another thing that tags along to this, it seems like we're on women's rights this week.
Okay.
Is that Ariana Grande got it? So Ariana Grande used to be his fiance. Was he fiance? Were they getting married? I just thought it was his girlfriend.
I think they were
girlfriend. So that was his girlfriend. And basically she left him, and one of the reasons why she left him, she said, is because you're on these drugs. And she goes, I can't keep looking after you. I'm not your mother, basically.
Yeah.
I can't keep looking after you. I've told you, obviously, I can't be with somebody that's on these drugs. I can't do this no more. And she left him, right? So now he's obviously died over the overdose. She's getting it.
Yeah, which is really sad.
Somebody that you know has passed, whether or not they're your ex or whatever, you was close to them enough to be your partner. They've died, and what people are doing is now going into her mentions, going into her inbox, going into her Instagram.
She's cancelled her.
She closed her comments.
Yeah, the comments. Yeah.
And basically saying, you did this. You're the reason why he killed himself. Or we don't know whether he killed himself or not. But you're the reason why he's dead. You should have been there looking after him.
And she's mourning.
Heavy.
She would be in mourning now, right?
Yeah.
You know, and for this is the thing about social media now.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
You know, these social media warriors and people that pass their comment without thinking, and I don't think that these people would be brave enough to say this
of course not.
To their face.
Of course not.
I think there's some nutters out there that would, but I think a large majority of them are just keyboard warriors, man. It's flipping annoying.
The question I ask is, if somebody is actually a hardcore drug user, how long do you have to stay with this person before you say that I don't want you no more?
When are you allowed? Yeah.
When are you allowed to leave? What? So she has to be with the drug dealer, the drug abuser? Why?
In general, women have we have like a struggle complex in it. So we have to, a good woman has to stand by her man, and you have to ride or die, whether he's broke, don't matter what it is.
Yes,
but
damn it.
That's the culture in it. Like, to be a good woman, you have to be part of the struggle culture. You have to endure, yeah. So it's not really a surprise, to be honest.
It's just mad, man. There's been a lot of things talking about with women this weekend and this type of stuff. So jumping on the Mac Miller thing and jumping away from the Ariana Grande thing, have you heard about the Janet Jackson one?
Nope.
So
nothing.
Janet Jackson, obviously.
Have you heard of it?
Something about Bobby Brown?
No.
Oh,
Janet Jackson. I heard that Johnny Jackson and Bobby Brown did the thing, but
yeah.
let's do that. I didn't watch the show yet, so I can't really get into that. But Janet Jackson did the Super Bowl one time with Justin Timberlake, and within the Super Bowl, in fact, Stav, are you still there? Just in case you've gone.
I'm here.
Okay, cool. So it's Justin Timberlake and I'm about to say Justin Timberlake and Stav, Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson did a Super Bowl halftime show. And then during the halftime show, Justin Timberlake ripped away Janet Jackson's top and basically showed the nipple.
The nipple wasn't actually shown. Can I just be clear?
Yeah, she had something on her nipple, which is like a star or something.
The breast area was shown, but there was no nipple. I don't know what I'm making actions.
There was no areola. there was no nipple.
There was something, which makes me believe that I don't care what
it was
they
a
tell
setup.
me.
Of course, it was.
They did that.
It was rehearsed.
They're both saying that it wasn't meant to come away, but I don't believe it.
It was just the cup of the garment that came away.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
So basically, since then. Justin Timberlake has been allowed to do the halftime show again.
Yep, he
but
did.
Janet Jackson has been banned from the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Imagine.
But there's now been discussions about the guy that runs CBS. I think he's been investigated for part of the Me Too movement. Mm-hmm. And a lot of things are coming out of things that's been happening. And one of them has been saying that he's blackballed Janet Jackson, and basically the reason why Janet Jackson's career took a big hit, because there was a point where Janet Jackson just went missing, is because he has been going around behind her back and basically blackballing her in the industry because of the fact that she did what she did, and not that she didn't say sorry, but she didn't beg him.
Wow.
The same way Justin Timberlake did. Apparently Justin Timberlake called him up crying.
I can
saying,
believe that.
I'm sorry, please let me back.
I can believe that.
But Janet Jackson obviously is an OG. She don't need to do that, she thinks. And she just said, well, I'm sorry, we didn't mean it. Sorry,
back in the day, there was an MTV, just cutting out a little bit. There was an MTV kind of comedy sketch show that they used to do called Pranks. And Justin Timberlake got pranked. And the guy started crying.
Yeah, and I could
It's called punked.
Yeah.
I was thinking, is this guy crying for real?
Bruv, when you saw what they did to his things, I can understand why man was crying. They're expensive things.
Nah, man.
But yeah, so he called up groveling, and then the guy was like, all right, cool. You've appeased me. But Janet Jackson, strong black woman as she is, what happened that? She said, well, let me not call her strong black, I don't know. But I'm calling her that because she went through the Jackson regime, so that's what I was saying.
The Jackson regime.
So she said she's not doing that. She apologized. I made a mistake. Sorry about that. That's the end of that. But because he wanted her to grovel and he wanted her to come to him on his knees, he then blackballed her, and she is now basically only.
Many men would want Janet Jackson to come to them on their knees.
Many men.
Is this where we're taking a discussion?
But yeah, so now suddenly she's been blackballed. So now she's finally to come back with a song. So. What do we think about that?
Can I ask, Wahala, I would like to know your view on this, considering the whole discussion we had on Serena.
My view on it?
Yeah, because she broke the rules.
Yeah, I think she should have been punished for breaking the rules.
And no, I'm talking about Janet Jackson.
Yeah, I think that as well.
So do you think that she's being unfairly treated?
She's being unfairly treated now because, again, for me, if you tell me that I can't come back on the Super Bowl again, that's justified. So for them banning her for the Super Bowl, no problem with that.
No, they didn't ban Justin Timberlake.
They did, but then he came back groveling and crying, and they let him back on again. But again, I would have said if you're banned, you're banned. But if she apologized and if you're gonna do that to Justin Timberlake, you should do that for Janet Jackson. But I don't have a problem with them banning her from the Super Bowl initially, apart from when they let the other guy come back in. Yeah. But I have no problem with that originally. But what you don't do is then backball the whole person's career because you want them to come to you crying on their knees, begging you. What kind of rubbish is that? That's an ego trip.
But can't you see the Serena correlation? I don't think we should go back.
Let's not go back. I just feel that
again. I don't think any of you heard what I said.
I
said in the Serena thing.
I heard it through the headphones.
I said in the Serena thing. I said that she has been unjustly treated. Okay. I said that quite clearly. But I said she still broke the rules, and you can't tell her that she didn't break the rules, and you can't tell the man did not enforce the rules because he did. But she has been unjustly treated.
Let's move on.
What race is the CBS guy?
Oh, you bought, I'm assuming.
All right, yeah, it's no surprise.
Yeah,
same. I think they get a hard on from us begging. I
can believe that.
Yeah,
Terry Crews style, innit?
Like a psychological kind of thing of
us being in
I
a
have the
position
power.
Of
Flex.
Yeah, and the fact that she didn't come begging, then he took it as like, right, I'm gonna destroy her whole career.
He would have taken that personally, and I think that he would have gone all out. I can believe that happening.
Yeah,
because those guys in the media world, when they can push the red button to execute somebody, they can do it, man.
I think the same way they can make a star out of nowhere, the same way they can.
I won't talk about
destroy
where they're
you as well. So yeah,
Stav.
Yo.
The question I ask you, Stav. If somebody did that to you, and I mean you're the CBS guy, you bring them onto your platform. Let's say that somebody comes onto Eloquently saying nothing, and you say to them, "You got these rules, and don't break these rules." And they assure you that they're not going to break the rules, and then they go out of their way and then break them blatantly in your face in a disrespect.
Is that what happened?
But that's what I'm saying.
Kind of.
Is that actually what happened?
Well, she knows the rules.
Happened?
What with the titty thing?
They broke the rules.
Specifically telling them don't show your breast.
Well,
and then they show their breast.
Do you have to tell them don't show your breast? You should know that to show your breast on the Super Bowl and national TV. She knows that already.
Yeah.
And her nipple was covered.
But he gave you that example.
She knows it, yeah? Okay, let's use that example then. She knows it, yeah? She knows that. She knows it's going to cause a controversy. And she knows that it can potentially damage your business. Right?
Alright.
You, the type of person that you are, do you see anything wrong with this man trying to finish this woman?
Yeah, of course.
Why do you see something wrong with it? Because I would have thought it would be something that you would personally do yourself.
Yeah, I'm a vindictive person. I believe in retribution and revenge. I have no problem with that. If somebody does you wrong, by all means, got them. But in this case, I don't think they did the person wrong. They didn't do the brand any issues at all, and you would know that immediately.
Probably would have raised the brand.
They got fined.
They got penalised and she got banned.
Oh yeah, they got fined. But they got fined by the people that deal with the TV, whatever. So it was
It would have been a small fine as well.
It was whatever. It's a minor to the big NFL. It done nothing to hurt him. So that's why I'm looking at it in the big scheme of things. It wasn't a personal attack against him. One, two, it only helped the brand because people that never knew anything about NFL around the world, because obviously everybody in America does, and there's tons of people around the world that do it. But the people that didn't know nothing about NFL were watching the clips the next day. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Let me watch it the next time it starts again or something like that. It did nothing to hurt. So going out of your way to finish somebody's career for that is a nonsense. It's an ego trip. Like Mo said, is maybe they get harder for people, whether it's women or black people or both. Huh?
That was a Mo. What character?
It was nine. Sorry, no. So I'll agree with what I said. Maybe it had something along those lines.
Do you reckon that?
So no, it's sorry.
Do you reckon that Janet Jackson should take a knee with a titty out? It's a ball.
Yeah, and take the 50
Then they'll
million
get
from
really
her,
mad. Then they'll have a reason to be mad. At least.
Just suck it. That's what it is.
Can I move the subject?
Go on, man. You got
Amandla Stenberg. There's a black actress. I don't know if she's mixed race or black.
She's
actually,
mixed
or
race.
just very light skin.
Yeah, she's mixed race.
She's mixed race.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, there's a book called The Hate You Gave, which is a story about a woman witnessing a police shooting an unarmed black man and the repercussions of that. And the lead or the person is meant to be black in the book. Now they casted this Amandla Stenberg in the film version of it, which is going to be coming out within the next few months or so.
Stav, I'm going to cut you up. Now it's got to go in 3 minutes. So maybe we should do like let her do an outro so she can go and then we can get into this subject after.
All right, cool.
Yes.
Okay, how are we going
ready?
How are we going to do this?
Well,
I'll just tell her that she's...
Go on.
No, go on. Mr. Wolf, you can then. She's your star. You can give her the outro and let her do her thing.
Yeah, man. She's on the other side of the room. I can't give her a high five, but I would do.
Aww.
I think that you was nervous. And how did you feel?
I felt comfortable, to be fair.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're in a house
You did a really
around
good job.
good people.
Yeah.
And I think you've done a great
She
job.
flopped it because she's leaving.
True, but she's going
And
to work.
this is a topic that I would have really liked to get into, but
She's got responsibilities now. She's got a full-time job.
yeah.
Yeah. But you'll be more than welcome to come back on the show.
Thank you.
Don't invite Ghanaians back, man. One time only Ghanaians.
Yeah.
We love them.
Most of yeah.
No, I'm saying we love them.
I was
I'm
gonna
support
say like,
Ghanaian women.
We love them. But
No,
yeah, man.
Solidarity.
Thank you for coming on the show.
thank you guys
Unfortunately,
so much
obviously,
for having me.
yeah, you have to go a bit early, but we knew that was the case, and yeah, we're glad that
You
you're
doing
here.
socials?
Yeah, nobody told me. But thank you, Nye. It was wonderful to hear your voice. Not to see you, but hopefully next time you're on, I get to see you.
Thank you guys.
But you ain't gonna do socials, are you?
It's pretty much my name, so
Oh.
my
Alright,
government.
cool.
So.
No, so
problem,
allow
no
it.
problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
Thank
Anything you
you
want to say?
guys.
Oh, but Nai can cook. Put it that way. Girl can cook, man. Yeah.
Oh,
man.
nice.
Yeah, she brought in a couple of things at work, man.
I'm not involved with their food, man. Their food is rubbish.
What?
Yeah,
Don't-
I'm saying-
don't-
yeah, bye,
don't-
bye,
don't-
bye.
don't mind him.
Yeah, I'm not going to. But anyway, thanks for having me, guys. Man.
Thank you very much for coming. Much
And
appreciated.
yeah, Amanda Stenberg's mixed race, and if they wanted a black actress, they should have just got a black actress.
Boom.
Oh, that's a nice exit. I like it.
No hating.
It's a shame. What did she say?
She said they should have got a black actress.
All right, okay.
Exiting the
We'll,
building.
we'll continue the conversation when you leave.
She can't hear you, bro.
All right. Nye, being the typical Ghanaian she is, has left early and she's gone about her business. So the rest of us Nigerians will continue talking. So Amandla Stenberg is a mixed race actress, as I've been told by the woman that's just left. And she's been casted in the film The Hate You Gave, based on a book around the story of a black woman witnessing the murder by a policeman of an unarmed black man. Right. Now, there's been controversy that she's been cast as the woman in question. In the book, it's a black woman. She herself is mixed race. She's very light skinned, actually. And she has said that she has never had her race brought into question before. She now feels offended about all this stuff. And she's told the producers, or she at the time when it happened, because this is a while back ago now, the film will be coming out soon. She said, "I will give up my position. You know, if it's that much of an issue, I won't play the part. I came for the thing like everybody else does. You picked me. I didn't realize there was going to be this backlash, and there was. The producer and the director said, no, we like you. You did well. All good. Now, what do you guys think? Do you think there's an issue with having a mixed race person in the cast in this situation, or do you think what's the big deal? She's a woman of color, and so be it."
Is the child black?
What child?
The child in the film. Is the child person that's playing the child, are they black?
Yes.
I don't think she's not a child. She's like a.
Oh, she's a witness, isn't it?
Her
But
boyfriend.
yes, in the book, I believe it's a black woman.
Yeah, it's a black woman, and she's dating a black guy, and the black guy gets shot.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
not, I thought it was a child.
So I have an issue.
No.
I don't care. Listen, we can't be screaming Colin Kapenick is supporting black rights and he's a black dude when he's mixed race, and then suddenly mixed race want to play black people and say no, you can't.
But we got to understand that shading is real out here, bruv.
Especially for black women.
You get me? So the idea that it doesn't mean anything, of course it does, and that's why there's a big uproar regarding it. The character is a black woman. No one's disputing the fact that mixed race in society are seen as black people as well. But put it this way: there's Ashley Cole is mixed race, isn't it? But he looks dark. He's like a dark skin mixed race. Some people will actually just think that he's got two black parents, isn't it? But this woman who is the actress, she is extremely light. I've just had a look at her, and listen,
I haven't seen her. You got a picture on there.
If the character is black, then go out there and find yourself a black actress. I think the what's the woman that plays Insecure?
Issa Rae.
She's in it, right? She's in it. I'm looking at
she's
the
in
cast.
the film. Yeah,
she's in the film.
She's in
And
the film.
listen, there's a lot of black actresses out there, man. Just come on.
Mo?
I think I agree with Mr. Wolf. It does matter, especially because this story is about black people telling their truth and their story, especially considering about their colorism for black women specifically in Hollywood. So to say it doesn't matter, it shouldn't matter, but it does. So
She looks black to me though.
Do you think it's a softener for?
Hold on 1 second.
For white
Because I
folks?
cut you off by accident.
Yeah.
So Karen say what you're saying. I didn't mean to do that.
I think she looks like a mixed race woman, which is absolutely fine. The story is about a black woman witnessing her black partner being killed by the police. So I think if you want to stay true to that story, then I think it's you should have used a black actress. Also,
Okay. Sorry, go on.
the only thing I was also going to say is there's the amount of roles that are available to black women within Hollywood are limited anyway. So again, that's why it does matter that it didn't go to a black woman.
Is she meant to be a child though?
Mo, no, like a young adult, man. Whatever. I don't know.
No, when I'm
What
seeing
does it
her,
make?
she's in school uniform.
Yeah, she's a teenager.
Yeah, so this
Okay.
this particular person is quite a prominent actress, isn't it? She's the one that's in the Hunger Games.
She was in the Hunger Games, and the thing is, that's another reason why I'm a bit surprised that she has been a bit naive about it. Because when she played Ruth, I think it was Ruth in the Hunger Games, in the book they actually describe someone that looks like her. So with dark hair, curly hair, brown skin. And she got a lot of backlash from white people saying they didn't like the fact that she was playing that character. And literally, she did represent that character. So I think she understands the whole thing about race and shadism and colorism is important. So in this aspect where the role is for a black woman, it is just as important.
Yeah, but they said that she was prepared to drop out, but they told her not to. So,
but then that's what I'm saying. It's not on her. It's the same way how I feel about a lot of X-Men Marvel. So Storm, in terms of Storm being played by Halle Berry and then being played by the actress Alexandra something, another mixed race actress. Storm is actually black.
Very black.
So
very African too.
That's what I'm saying. Things like this, it does matter. Also, Amandla, she talked about her withdrawing herself from Black Panther because she felt that this was a role for dark-skinned black women.
This is what she said.
She said this, and she got a bit of a backlash to say, like, well, you know, if you audition and they wanted to put you in a film, that's different. But she does understand, and the fact that she even queried it with the producers shows that she is aware. I'm not even going to put it on her. I'm going to put it on the producers and the people that do the casting. They need to understand that this is such a sensitive story. We need to make sure that we are true to that story.
I'll co-sign 100%, but go on, Steph.
Yeah.
Not to be too delicate. If it's an issue, then by all means, just tell me to shut up or we'll cut it out.
Yeah, sure.
But you're very, very light-skinned yourself, aren't you?
I'm not very. I'm of a lighter shade, yeah.
Okay. Would you be comparable to this Amandla Stenberg woman?
I'm not
in
as
skin tone.
I'm not as fair as her, no.
I would think so.
But you could be passed as mixed race yourself if you're fully black, yes.
Ooh, I don't know if you.
I don't know about that, you know.
I'm fully black, and I don't think I could, but some people have said yes, I could. So
you can. For me looking at her, I think she could pass. I just don't think she has mixed race features, but her skin tone could easily pass for mixed race. So my point is, if you were playing a part in this film, and people might moan at you, oh, she's a mixed race woman, and be like, well, no, I'm actually fully black. Both my parents are fully black. Then does the tone actually not now make any difference because there are many different shades of black?
It does make a difference, yeah, of course.
Okay, all right. I was just trying to play devil's advocate, but you just ended that one. Please come and edit it with me. All right. Let's go to the last topic, and we'll talk. Wizkid has come out and said that he wants to build a school in every single African nation. I repeat, Wizkid,
every single one.
Nigerian, every single African country. Wizkid wants to build a school. He's asking for assistance from people from the individual countries for them to tell him where that he should build this kind of school, what kind of school it should be, and maybe they can even help with money as well. Because he basically, maybe he's got the power and the influence to have this thing done. He might not have the money to do everything. Maybe he does, I don't know. But any contributions, he's happy to take it, maybe from other celebrities as well, I don't know. But basically, it's an idea that he has where he wants to push that forward. Unfortunately, due to data usage, and I don't want to use the phone and go onto the internet at the same time, I can't tell you the story exactly bar for bar. But what do you think about that? Obviously, I'm sure we all think it's a wonderful thing, but let's just discuss it anyways. Wizkid is making moves recently, and this is just another move he's making.
Nice. I mean,
that's what.
You know what? Is people put out press releases for these kind of things? Because remember, I mean, we touched on it today and in a previous podcast. When you're doing your good deed, do you make it public? If you want to build a school, maybe just build it, man. You get me? If you're going to do the plan behind it, and that's fine. So you go source the money.
That's what he's doing.
Yes, but do you have to make it public?
But
so my
do you
point,
think that part of making it public is to help source that money saying that I want to build a school in all these African nations? So hey guys, come and help me.
I don't think it's a bad thing to be to do the thing public, because I actually said with that question that I would go public, but I'm just wondering how all this thing works, man. Is your sole purpose to go public? Is it to raise money, or I don't know? Is it a profile thing? What?
I think it's a mixture of both. But he needs the money. He's gonna need to raise the money. This is how he's trying to raise the money. Man, like Wiz is doing his moves, man. Shaku to him. Because I don't know how he's doing it. I don't think he means every African country. I
hope he does.
I think he means West African, and maybe somewhere in South.
Oh well, there was some backlash by Nigerians saying, "Why don't you start charity at home?"
And I was thinking the same thing
in the link,
kind of.
But I haven't read it. But people have actually come at him and said, "Bruv, deal with Nigeria first. Why are you worried about the whole of Africa?"
Yeah, and he should.
But I can't remember his response.
He should deal with Nigeria first. If we're gonna be real.
And it's not, deal with them first as in build the one school in Nigeria first. For me, I was thinking, why don't you build it in every state in Nigeria first and then move on from there? Because some of our family members will talk to you about the education system back there and how teachers are going strike for all kinds of things, and it's difficult for them. So building a school is good, and I told you that a friend of mine done the same a couple of years ago. It's a good move, but I think that there's other things that you can do to assist the function of the education system over there. Because we got smart.
But
I
don't think we should take away from the fact that he's trying to do something.
Yeah, I think it's great.
And to be honest, let's just see him actually build the first school. Then worry about where he's doing the next one. It's a good thing whatever he does, whether he does them all in Nigeria or across Africa. There's still going to be schools that are going to be built.
I hope it's in Surulere, the first one.
Yeah, or in his grandma's, where he lives, isn't it? Or where his mum's from.
Yeah, Surulere.
Is it Surulere?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Ajuleba is where you
okay.
But
that's in Surulere. Yeah.
He's from Surulere. But anyway, so I don't know, man. It's a good thing. I'm glad that these young boys are trying to do something for back home. All of them are trying to do things. Obviously, Skepta's build these little playgrounds and whatnot in his village and stuff like that. And he's got his chiefship because of all of that stuff. So I think the people are going back. Even the last the Skepta and Wizkid video, they did it shot in Nigeria, showing different parts of Lagos, how people not seeing things differently, trying to make Nigeria look a bit different, trying to be a bit like.
I want to see which part of Lagos that was, man.
It's probably in VI, man. You don't know inside there, man.
Maybe Ikoyi.
Yeah,
I was driving all around VI recently, man.
Yeah, man. They're
doing so much work there. Hey, I'll tell you about Nigeria on the beach side, around VI and Lekki and all them sides. What they're doing there on the beach, they're fully trying to make that look like similar to Miami. Anyone that's been to Miami and Miami Beach, that's what they're trying to make that look like right now.
Well, basically, it's called Echo Atlantic City. So the same guys that done I think they're Dutch builders, and there's a Dutch company who done Dubai. It's the same people that are building the Echo Atlantic City.
They're dubbing it the Dubai of
it's coming, man.
Africa.
Nigeria's gonna go clear soon, man. But as I said, now they've got the Shaku Shaku in the NBA 2K14 or whatever it is, or 18, 19.
Well, the biggest.
I've seen Shaku Shaku everywhere.
That's what I'm saying.
sure you have.
Chipmunk is doing Shaku Shaku in the video. In the video with Malik Berry.
Chipmunk Shaku Shaku was better than Skepta's, and I was appalled about that. But anyway,
yeah, man. But the biggest move in Nigeria for me recently is dropping the age of those who can go for governor and government. You know what I mean? So that happened a couple of months ago, and I've said it. If they allow these young people in, it will only be a matter of time, because these old generals, they can't live forever.
Yeah, but they still have.
They're still there.
They still have a legacy that got passed down to their children who will still become thieves like the fathers.
Well, let's hope not.
Let's hope not.
Hope not.
Let's wrap this up, man.
Why not?
We're on 2 hours yet, you know. I just want to do one very, 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 very quick thing. In fact, don't worry, because it was just going to be like all the beef stuff. Just toss it out there in one bundle.
Let's do it.
Go on.
Yeah, I wanted to go.
Drake and Meek Mill have made up. Drake brought Meek and on stage to do his intro, and they've kissed and made up. So that's a wonderful thing for hip hop, because now Drake can do collaborations with Rick Ross again, and they are two of the best in the rap game one day together. So glory to God. Anybody got anything to say about that?
I think it is inevitable. People are still managed to find ways to cuss Nicki Minaj in this situation, though, which is making me laugh. Because they're saying that.
Okay, so Nicki Minaj. Oh, sorry.
No, because they're saying that because now Drake's ditched Nicki Minaj somehow, which I didn't know he did. He's allowed himself to now be forming with Meek Mill to make things better again.
Anyone else?
I just think they just thought they can probably make more money by collaborating together.
Exactly.
So that was it. So why not squash it?
It's all about money and all this beef business, brother. I won't lie. I don't give a fuck, man. I really don't care.
There is
man.
one I do care about.
Which one? The Eminem and the other guy?
Nicki Minaj and Cardi B.
No, not that one either.
Wow.
The one that I
Cardi
actually
fine
wish,
shoes.
the one I actually wish I could see was Mary J. Blige versus Faith Evans.
You know what? That one, I was like, where did that come from?
I don't know.
I was literally trying to think, and have they collaborated together on a song?
I don't know.
So I was like, maybe there's a reason.
I think they've been on a song together, yeah.
But apparently them at Puffy's house, they had a fight.
Yeah.
Really?
And I need to see who won that fight. I need to see which auntie won that fight, because they're both aunties. I don't know what they're doing fighting each other in the streets. Where I know Mary J. Blige you see Mary J. Blige dance, so I don't know if that she fights, but
yeah, I feel like Mary can take her.
I think Faith's a gutter girl, you know. After hearing on Drink Champs, I think she's a bit gutter, that one, you know.
Yeah.
Both of them, they're both from the street, innit? So
yeah, but Mary J. Blige, I know she's all talking about
Yeah, who would take
her
her?
life.
I reckon Faith would take her.
I'm thinking Faith will take her as well.
I don't know. Mary looks like she can do something.
No more drama in my
Yes.
life.
Well, Faith just looks so drugged up that she won't feel the blows.
You're a joker, bro.
And I feel like somehow Stevie J's got something to do with this.
Yeah, you don't know Stevie
Yeah.
J. I don't know what possessed any
Was you
person
here
to
the
marry
last
Stevie
time
J.
when we were talking about Stevie J?
No,
I don't know what would possess any woman to marry Stevie J.
I don't know.
I don't get it.
know.
I have not watched any of these reality programs, so I know nothing about him other than he was a producer.
He's
So-
a
And he
Father
has
of the
like
highest
a
degree.
million kids.
Is he Jamaican?
I saw a clip on TV and Joe Budden was in it.
Yeah, he used to be in Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
Jeez, man, it's like, what are you
I
doing,
think
man?
isn't that how
That's-
he met
that's
his current
Yeah.
partner?
No. Maybe, but he wasn't with Love and Hip Hop.
Okay.
Somebody else. It was a
Involved, man.
Crucci, you know, one of them people there.
Maybe them man need
All
money,
right.
but who gives a shit about all that beef, bruv? You know?
Wasteman Zimmerman and the Carters.
Boy, that one's a deep one because he was threatening them, saying that what did he call Beyonce, a broke bitch?
Yeah, broke whore.
Called Broke Whore.
How can you call Beyonce a broke whore?
That makes no sense.
Let me just give you the quick background. George Zimmerman obviously is the person that shot and murdered Trayvon Martin many years ago.
And got off.
Well, a few years ago in the
Got away
got
with
off.
murder.
Basically, Jay-Z's company did a documentary about it, and George Zimmerman obviously wasn't happy about it. He knew he was going to be portrayed in a poor light, and so he was sending text messages, I think, to the producer or somebody that was behind the scenes in that documentary. For some reason, that's just come to light. And he said, Jay-Z, you know, if I see Jay-Z, I'm going to put him inside a gator, basically in an alligator. I'm going to kill him. And his broke whore of a wife, Beyonce. So that's just now come to light. And people seem to be more upset about that than when he actually killed Trayvon Martin.
Come on now, that's a bit much.
I don't think people are more upset. I think people are just frustrated that this man is just continuously just still walking around and making threats to kill someone. And he's not in prison.
Yeah, what was
I don't think they want him in prison, fam.
what was Jay-Z's
Yeah, well.
lyric, Wahala?
Jay-Z said, you lot killed X and let Zimmerman live.
Yeah.
The streets is done.
You get me? And that I think we touched on. I keep on going back on certain podcasts that we done. We touched on, you know, when you do really bad deeds, do you care about the death of someone? You get me? And he is someone that I brought up, and if he was to die tomorrow, people would actually celebrate. I think people would actually have a barbecue and wait for that white woman to come with her glasses, mate, and be upset. You get me?
The 911 call.
That's what I'm saying.
Barbecue Becky, isn't it?
Barbecue Becky, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm very surprised and almost disappointed in the streets. You know, I'm not out here co-signing death and
You are.
well, maybe I am.
I'm not co-signing death as I co-sign death.
You know, but you know, these guys are doing their madness, man. Anyway, man, let me just
I
shut
think
my
also
mouth, man.
with
Let me just shut my
George
mouth.
Zimmerman, he's blatant, kind of like he's almost like flaunting the fact that he
Yes.
got away with it.
Yes.
I think that's what it incenses people.
I can't wait for this documentary, and it will be a long line of list
It's
of
out
things
already. It's out already.
that I need to see, including OJ.
It's out already.
Was it on Netflix?
No, it's well, maybe in America, but not in here, man. I'm trying to find it, but yeah, I'm gonna try and find that. I'm see if I can watch that.
Right.
Um,
I feel sorry for Trayvon Martin's parents, man. Imagine having
man.
to see this person.
Every day.
Imagine having to read every month or so. He pops
Yeah.
up in the news for holding weapons, for getting into fights, for beating up his girlfriend, for threatening celebrity. Oh my days, man! The amount you'd want this person dead is like,
Yeah, of course.
you can't rest. You
Of
can never
course.
rest.
You know, you know what? Yeah, I'm vexed that we missed out of time because the only thing I did want to talk about actually was Joe Budden and the Joe Budden podcast and the
I don't
discussion
see
with
why.
Eminem. Because the thing I liked about that, I think you said something that I completely agree with. You said there was no point him creating a diss track when it would be so much better if him what he just said on the podcast is so much better than any diss track, and I completely agree with you. The way he dismantled
I haven't even
Eminem-
heard it yet.
What, the podcast?
I haven't heard it yet.
Oh my god! The way he dismantled Eminem on that podcast, dismantled him. Basically, he basically just said this: "I'm better than you now. You don't want any smoke with me. Don't even bring it. And you're talking about this, that, and the other. All I care about is mans that look after their brethren, right? And all I can see from you is a very rich man, and all your friends are not the same as you." Then he brought Jay-Z into the situation. Like Jay-Z's when I see Jay-Z, Tata looks happy. What did he say? What did he say? That girl with Tata looks fantastic. His skin is glowing. And he was talking about one of the next other Jay-Z's boys. You know, he's doing well. What have you done for your people? And you know, he was always big on this thing about when the podcast blows, he has to make sure the rest of the guys get their money and make sure the rest of the guys...
because people were trying to separate him from the rest.
Exactly.
No.
And he said no. And he goes, look, even with me, with my boys, when I blow, we all blow. What have you done? Where's D12? Bruv, he dismantled Eminem so badly on that podcast. I don't know if Eminem's gonna come for him, but he did say that if you want to, his exact words were, if you want to do a diss track against me because what you said in there was not enough to bring me out, bring out a diss track and I'll go back to the studio because you know he's retired. He said he'll go back, but he dismantled it.
He actually said he'll go back.
He said he'll go back.
I thought he said the opposite actually. That he said no, he's retired.
He did say he's retired, but he said if you make a diss track against me,
yeah,
I'll come out for retirement just for that diss track, just for you, because of you.
As much as I'm not into this whole diss track business, I really don't give a crap. I would be looking forward to that.
For someone that doesn't give a crap.
That actually sounds interesting. I won't lie.
Eminem would win, but taking into account MGK, Machine Gun Kelly actually came with a decent diss against Eminem. Who knows?
Where did come from? He smashed it. I was so surprised.
He came with a decent track.
And what he said, he came with the correct way as well. He basically said, I idolized you, but now you're just an annoying person now, crying all the time.
And as silly as it sounds, as petty as it sounds, as childish as it sounds, Eminem's beard is weird.
It is beard. He looks like a lesbian. They're right.
Eminem's got a beard.
Yes. He looks like he's had a transgender. Innit? He looks like he's done the change.
He's had the change. I don't know anyway.
I think I need to look it up.
That's what Joe Budden will start off with. He'll probably start off with his beard.
Yeah, I think he'll go deeper than that.
All right, so I think that brings us to the end. Let's finish off like we usually do with the hosts and then the guests coming up last. So, Big Wahala, speak on it.
At Big Wahala on Insta, at Big Wahala on Twitter. Get at me.
Mr. Wolf.
Yes, people, you can catch me on Instagram aka Mr. Wolf. Twitter, aka _Mr. Wolf. Word is bound.
All right, Stavros says this week is Visit Africa. Because I think in the last 12 months, sorry Mr. Wolf, but 4 out of the 5 members of Eloquently Saying Nothing have come to Africa. We put our money into it, into the
I haven't been in a while.
Industry. We put our money into the shops. Sorry?
I haven't been in a while. It's been a long time.
But you have been multiple times, so let me not test that you. But I'm just trying to say that in recent memory or recent times, we have actually spread out amongst different parts of Africa. So come to Africa, put your money into the system. I'm overpaying everybody here. I'm getting told off for it, but I just want to give back in my small little way. And I nearly missed the podcast now because we actually got an Uber from where we were. We went to visit some of my wife's cousins, and we were meant to take an Uber back here to the home. And the dude went in the complete opposite direction because of a mix-up. It's too long for me to get into. But once we stopped and we realized that instead of being 20 minutes away from the house where we started off for, we were now an hour away. And this is when, and then he's like, basically he started blaming my wife. And the way I switched at him, I was in the front seat with him. I was ready to punch him in his face.
I
don't care.
He started what?
I was in the front seat.
He started what?
Basically, I said he blamed my wife.
Oh, okay.
She booked an Uber from her phone and she put in the address. Now the address had a road name, so let's say it's Suwelere, for instance, Suwelere Road. But there's a Suwelere area. Now once we got into the car, he's like, "Oh, you're paying by card?" And she's like, "Yeah." He's like, "No, I don't want to do card because yada yada yada. Can you rebook it by cash?" Now I'm telling him, "Listen, forget going through Uber, man. Just go there and I'll pay you the equivalent cash." Eventually, after a while, he said, "All right then," and then he started driving. But instead of going to the road, he went to the area, which is completely in the opposite direction. Now, then, because I'm figuring out, we're not getting any closer. I don't even know the area, but I'm figuring we're not getting in the right direction. Eventually, he stopped. And it's like, okay, we're in the area now. This is nowhere near where we're meant to be. I got out the Google Maps. I'm like, bro, we're far. So he's like, yeah, but this is that area. You said we're going to that area. She's like, no, we were going to that road. I didn't even mention the road. I didn't even say it out of my mouth because that's not the road that we actually live on. I know the house by house name kind of thing. And he's saying, yeah, but you said this. And I said, hold on, it is your fault. And he said, no, it's not my fault. So I said, so whose fault is it? Are you trying to say it's my wife's fault? And the man shut up for a bit. And I said, so whose fault is it? He's like, it's not mine. So whose fault is it? He said, well, it's her fault. And the way I switched at this dude.
But why? You pushed him to say something he didn't want to say.
Yeah, because he said it's not my fault. So I said, because it came down to it, he said, all right, I'll take you back.
No, I don't like things like that.
Process of elimination.
Can I finish? He said, I'll take you back, yeah, whatever, because he's stopped now. He's almost like, my wife's like, so what are we going to do? Get out of the car? Because it's almost like I'm not taking you there. Because it's far in another direction. Now, we had agreed 20 CDs. And I said, well, you have to take us back. He said, okay then, but I can't do it for that 20 CDs. I said, you can. He said, no, I can't. I said, you made a mistake. And that's where the conversation, that's where I got to the point where we have to now direct blame. Because he's saying he's not doing it for that money. And I said, you are, because it's your fault. And he said, it's not my fault. So that's why I got to that part of the conversation. Anyways, once he said it's my wife's fault, I switched at him. The man sat there like a child, turned around the car and started moving. He didn't say anything after I barked at him for 5 minutes. And that's when I realized I don't care where I am in the world, because in Ghana, in Nigeria, I watch my pocket. I know that I'm not home. I know I don't run things. It's whatever, anybody can take me. I can get kidnapped at any time. I understand this. When I go Brazil, Mexico, same thing everywhere. But when it comes to defending my wife, I will bark on anybody. I realize I just switch off. Everything goes. I switch off. I go mad.
Yeah,
I go mad.
So even when a man's trying to be respectful and not say your wife, and you push it out of him, you still shout at him. But yeah, fine.
Yes, because he's saying I have to pay more. And at the end of the day, I actually still gave the man double the money. I gave him 40 CDs. But you have to come out of your mouth and admit you were wrong. You can't go around blaming other people for your mistakes.
I don't.
So once he shut up and drove us home.
I don't know how he's wrong. But unless you told him the wrong.
Because the thing is, on Uber, he saw the address. Instead of
okay, so the address was correct in Uber.
Yes,
okay,
but he only saw the road name.
Okay.
And the road name in his eyes was the area. So instead of taking us to Hackney Road, he took us to Hackney, South London, for instance. I know it's a bad example, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
He made the mistake, not us, because we didn't.
And it's an easy mistake
that's
to
why
make, but it's just one.
That's what I even told him. It's an easy mistake to make. You're human. It's not a problem. But don't blame my wife when it's your fault. Because I'm standing right here.
You know what? We're going to have a segment. We're going to have a segment on the podcast called Stavros' My Wife segment. Every minute you're fighting for your wife.
I actually like it. I like it.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Anyway, Stavros says this week is come to Africa and support the cause. Give people extra money even though they cuff their wife. Anyways, I am Stavros Boss. You can catch me at Stavros Boss everywhere. Mo, speak on it, please.
My name is Mo, of one half of Colour Out the Box podcast. You can find us at Colour Out the Box on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. Do listen to our podcast, which is basically simple conversation between friends from the African and Afro-Caribbean diaspora.
Yeah, adding extras. Yeah, big up Colour Out the Box.
Yes.
This is the second time that Mo's come on the show.
You can also find me in
big up Jay.
In the ESN mentions on Twitter, often getting into a little bit of a discussion.
She never agrees with anything that we say on the podcast, ever at all.
No, I do agree on some stuff.
But that's not what you talk about. But yeah, thank you for coming along. Thank you for coming along in short notice. Stab is clearly gone.
Oh, yeah.
But he's put us on hold.
Wow.
He's getting an incoming phone call.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
So thank you. Oh, there we can hear you, bro.
Yeah, my thing's cutting off. Let me do the outro there.
Okay, go on.
Huh?
Go on, do the outro then.
Yeah. Okay. I think my credits run out, so it's turned from LTE to 3G quickly. It's going to have a delay. You can catch Eloquently Saying Nothing at ESN on Instagram and Twitter. You can search for Eloquently Saying Nothing on Facebook. Use the ESN pod everywhere, and we will find a conversation and join in. So, thank you, Nai, for your contribution. Wonderful black.
Such a narcissist. He's got no credit. He's never let us do it.
On at some point. Thank you very much for listening to the. Actually, 9.
I think you're gonna have to do it.
Yeah, we're gonna do that again.
We're gonna do it again, bro.
Yeah, so you can catch us at ESN Podcast on all of the social medias. Again, that's at ESN Podcast. If you want to email us, that's esnpodcast@gmail.com. You can catch us on Facebook at ESN Podcast. And yeah, thank you, Mo, Nai.
You are welcome
for coming along. Thank you, Staff, for trying right to the very end.
He tried.
And then your credit got you, but you got there right to the very end. Mr. Wolf, thank you for not being in another country. And yeah, I don't even know what he says in the outro anymore.
It's me. I'll do it. And if you ain't saying nothing, say it well.
Thank you very much. Cool. Stav, you still there?
Black for life.
The credit came back for that bit.
Black for life. You heard it.
Yeah, you man. Alright, laters.
Nice one, Steph. Go be with
I'm
your
here. I'm listening.
Okay, bye.
Oh, lovely.
Alright, peace.
Yeah, go and have some Ghanaian bread.